Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. We've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon, let's get to it.
Welcome to Undisputed, live from Los Angeles. I'm Alex Curry here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe. Good morning, guys. Skip, I know you are feeling great today.
So, Mr. Sharpe, yesterday you challenged me to come out today with the same energy I had yesterday. So, here you go. How about them Cowboys? Oh, woo, woo, woo. Oh. Now, back to our regularly scheduled program.
Okay, Skip, you know what, Skip? I can't even. I mean, that was very impressive, and I'm proud of you. You won. Bro, you know I got to shake your hand for that one.
I got to shake my hand?
I got to shake your hand for that. I got to shake your hand.
I got a handshake.
I got to shake your hand for
That's a first in the history of Undisputed.
It is.
I also get a fist bump.
Yeah, you get a fist bump.
It's deserved.
But you know what, Skip? Today is my son's birthday. I wish him a happy birthday.
Okay.
It would have been a really happy birthday, son. I'm sorry for the down move.
Yeah, well.
But this man right here, sorry, Cowboys.
Well, sorry, Cowboys.
Your day coming, Skip Bayless.
Yep.
I love it.
Alex, how are you doing today?
I'm doing
How are you,
fabulous.
Alex?
I'm loving the energy. You guys are picking me up. This is great.
Skip Bayless, you got me. I can't even say nothing, Skip.
Yes, you can. I want to hear you break this down.
I'm going to break it down.
While it breaks you up.
This hurts, Skip. This hurt.
This is a beautiful moment.
hurt.
This is.
Can we just end the show right
No!
now?
We did it jack. Your day coming, Skip.
Let's get right to it, right? The Cowboys were a big underdog last night, and Skip was pretty much the only person that thought they could win, but they pulled a huge upset over the Saints. Dak Prescott threw a touchdown pass to Ezekiel Elliott to take the early lead, and Dallas defense shut out the Saints' high-powered offense in the first half. The Cowboys looked to put the game away, but Dak fumbled late in the fourth quarter to give the Saints a chance to win it. Then, 2 plays later, Drew Brees was intercepted by Jordan Lewis. The Cowboys won 13-10 to extend their winning streak to 4 straight. Now take a listen to both teams after the game.
I mean, I think anytime you go out there and beat a team that's won 10 games straight, it's somewhat of a statement, but it's not anything that we can hang our hats on and say, yeah, we're pleased with doing.
The whole nation thought we were going to lose, and we came out, we shocked the world, and I mean, the crazy thing about it is we could have played so much better.
I say the battle is won, but the war just begins. The rest of the league seeing how we're playing football together, and they're gonna want a piece of it.
We didn't really find a rhythm for pretty much the whole game. You know, I mean, I guess we may have had one decent drive, but for the most part, I felt like we were just didn't really find a great rhythm with what we were doing. Yeah, I mean, so credit to them.
Shannon, how surprised were you by last night's game?
I was very surprised, but Skip, I was more surprised at the end result. Now, if someone told me the Cowboys are going to win, but they're going to kick a walk-off field goal, it's going to be a 30-27 ball game, a 27-24 ball game, okay, I can live with that. But not 13-10. Not this offense that had scored 51 on the road, that had scored 48 against the Eagles, that just scored, 40 against the Falcons. They're averaging 37 points a game. And to get held to 10 points and going into the game, Drew Brees was the favorite, but my homeboy's back in this ring. Now, we'll talk about that a little later.
We will.
We'll talk about that a little later. 10 points. Drew Brees, 127 yards, an interception and a touchdown. And the Cowboys did what you told them they need to. And I don't even think you thought they would possess the ball as long as they possessed it last night. Basically, almost 37 minutes. Basically, 36-57.
It was 37-23.
Yeah. And that's a recipe for success. But I think, Skip, for me, I thought Sean Payton called a terrible game. I thought he panicked early. I thought he didn't think, watching the game, it seemed to me that he didn't think his defense was going to settle down because the Cowboys went right down the field. They got a field goal, went right back down the field. I think they got a touchdown. And I think it forced him to panic. He went for it on 4th down really early in the ball game when he didn't really need to do it. And I think him being in panic mode forced his offense to be in panic mode. And it seemed like, as Drew said, they were never able to get a rhythm. For me, is Mark Ingram still on the team, Skip? Because for a second there, I didn't think he dressed. And I'm like, well, what's going on? Why is Mark Ingram not in this ball game? He wasted his challenges early. It came back to bite him.
It did.
Skip, I tweeted this in real time. I said, Beasley's down. His knee hit way before the first down.
No challenge.
No challenge. And Skip, why on earth would you burn a timeout at 2:03? Because you're going to get, what's 3 seconds?
Yep.
Now by doing that, they come out of the time, now they come, and the Cowboys can throw the ball, which they did, with no repercussions because the 2-minute warning is going to stop the clock anyway. Why not just take it to the 2-minute warning and then burn your timeout? I don't understand. I just thought Sean Payton panicked at that moment, Skip, and give the Cowboys credit. The Cowboys front seven is unbelievable. I feel very comfortable in saying this, Skip. The tackling Dutchman, Vander Esch, and Jalen Smith are the best 2 linebackers in football. Oof. They have the best tandem.
It's a mouthful.
Now, I don't know if they're, individually, but they fly around. And when they get there, you go into the ground.
Yep.
They're not missing tackles. Jalen Smith is unbelievable because they ran a swing pass to Kamara out the backside. He forced one guy to miss. Jalen Smith started on the other side. He flew to the ball and tackled Kamara before he got into the end zone. They're unbelievable.
Big play.
That front seven was as good as it got last night.
I'm starting to think the back four's not bad either.
They do a lot of holding. But I tell you what, Eli Apple is rotten to the core. He's terrible, Skip. They showed a stat last night, Skip, and I couldn't hear the sound. But he had 4 targets. I saw 3 catches, but they forgot that pass interference. So good things, when they threw the ball at Eli Apple, good things happen for their team. There's a reason why the Giants gave up on him after 2 years, Skip. That's not a surprise. When you not have a draft pick and teams like, nah, we good after 2, yeah, you real bad. Give the Cowboys credit. We're going to talk about this a little later. You're still not winning the division.
We will talk about that in just a little bit, but first we're going to talk about what happened last night. Because the first statement I would like to make is that was the most action-packed 13-10 game I have ever seen in my life, in my career. 1,000 things happened. We need 5 hours of show today instead of 2.5 hours to talk about every little big thing that happened in that game. I'll take that game over the Rams and the Chiefs on the Monday night. Just me. I know you're a big Rams fan.
You just like because the Cowboys won.
But was it not edge of seat the whole way home for a 13-10 game? And again, I thought it would be a little lower scoring. I had 24-23.
No, you mean a little higher scoring.
But I mean lower compared to everybody else who's picking this in the 30s. You had 33-23.
Yes.
Okay. So I went 24-23. No way did I see 13-10.
No.
But I did tell you all week I had a feeling. And the feeling was that my team could win the time of possession and the game of keep away. And they did do that. I said yesterday, 35 minutes to 25 minutes, and it was 37-23. And that is the bottom line to this football game. But the point is, I just thought my defense, which was 29th in the league in allowing third downs, I thought it could just basically hang in with Drew Brees, just hang in for a 24-23 win. Drew Brees came in playing the greatest quarterback we've ever seen in the history of the National Football League. His QBR was on pace to be the record QBR ever. And obviously, this team came in leading this league in scoring at 37 points a game, including 48 against the Philadelphia Eagles, the reigning Super Bowl champs, and 43 against the other division rival, the Washington Redskins. So given all that, given what this defense did last night, and I am a Cowboy historian, that was the single greatest defensive performance in Cowboy history. Now, they've had more star-studded defenses. They've probably had greater defenses, the doomsday of the 70s that dominated, and then that Dion Charles Haley defense in 1995. It was hellacious.
What about
good.
the D in the first Super Bowl? They got that held Buffalo to 19.
Okay, but that's that same run.
The
90s dynasty. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
But what they did on degree of difficulty against this team on this roll, because in New Orleans' last 4 games, they'd averaged 44 a game. They held them to 10 points.
Yeah.
That's impossible. New Orleans scored 1 tainted touchdown because the touchdown pass to Kirkwood, I thought he just pushed Anthony Brown away. He just shoved him away. Yeah. That's a flag. And this, as Mike Pereira said on our air, I know you don't listen to the sound, but this referee crew was star-studded, but it had a bad night. It had a bad night on both sides. Both teams got some horrendously bad calls that they had to overcome, and nearly both sides did.
They need to stop doing that, though, Skip. They need to let the crew stay together that's been together and stop trying to make it an all-star crew.
Okay. But I'm going to remind you that this was the same Drew Brees who in 2013 on a Sunday night against the Dallas Cowboys, coached by our guy who comes on our show occasionally, Rob Ryan, as the defensive coordinator, Drew Brees set an NFL record with 40 first downs, 40 first downs. Last night, he went 3 for 11 on third down. 26%. What, 3 for 11? My pass rush made him uncomfortable all night.
Did he look scared?
It hit him. It made him look a little hurried. It made him look a little harried. It harassed him. And in the end, I think it got to him a little bit psychologically because those two linebackers you mentioned were flying around like guided missiles from sideline to sideline. Byron Jones just might be playing as good a shutdown number one corner as there is in the league. I know he had a couple of grabs last night, but still, you put him on the number one and you just say, do it, and he can do it at a pretty high level. I'm not sure anybody's playing at a much better level than he is.
I agree with you.
And how many Drew Brees games do you watch where receivers you haven't even heard of are just running wide open, right? Every game you just see him throwing a party on people.
Right.
He's wide open, and Drew usually just sits back there. I'll try him this time for a touchdown, right?
Right.
I saw nobody run wide open last night. Did you see one wide open receiver?
You did.
Every throw was challenged. Every throw.
And guess what, Skip? Now, you remember the last couple of weeks, every throw that was challenged, they came down with it. Nobody came down with a contested throw last night.
Nobody came down. The Saints. Yeah.
No one.
Sometimes I wanted my guy to come down with it, but at least they were on the carpet, right?
Correct.
So the point was that just given all that, despite all that, in the end, as well as my guy Dak Prescott played, and we're going to give him a letter grade here in a little bit on the show, he did some very good things and he did some bad things. And
bad.
The worst thing happened late in the game. It's 2:42 to go. It's a 3rd and 5 at the 6-yard line, and at least I need 3. Just give me 3 because Drew Brees is still standing on that sideline looking at his tablet ready to come in, right? And what happens? Cam Jordan happens. He blows up Lyle Collins right in Dak's face and knocks the ball out of his hand, and I am sunk. And I just fell on the floor. I'm a little hoarse this morning from screaming at the TV. So at that point, I'm looking at a Drew Brees, and I'm going to remind you that on game-winning drives, historically, Drew Brees ranks 3rd all-time with 45 game-winning drives. That's a little better than Tom Brady in 4th place with 44, 45 to 44. Drew Brees is just about as clutch as Tom Brady, and that stat says he's at least as clutch, if not a little clutcher. So I'm thinking at that point, please just give me overtime. Hold them to a field goal, because their kicker is deadly accurate, right?
Yep.
So I'm thinking, okay, just a field goal, and maybe we can win the toss and do something great in overtime. And the most shocking thing happened that I've seen in probably a decade. Drew Brees threw the worst interception I've ever seen him throw, especially under the circumstance. I've looked at it 100 times this morning, and I still can't figure out exactly what he was doing. But the point was, here it is. He throws it flat-footed, falling back. Now, Malik Collins did a spin move and came in his face.
Right in his face.
And at first I thought Malik Collins got his fingertips on it. Because you want to talk about a duck? He threw a dying quail of a duck. It's fluttering, and it's actually a little bit of a curveball away from Kamara, who breaks outside, and it missed him by 5 yards. And little Jordan Lewis is just playing zone, man. He's just standing there, and it's like, huh?
Skip,
and he made a nice catch, but
if you remember, he almost got one picked in the first half. He threw the
same
exact same situation.
And it was the same player, Jordan Lewis.
Yep.
I thought he should have caught that one.
Right. And the thing was, Skip, you're right. We haven't seen Drew Brees play this bad in a very long time, and he definitely hadn't played this bad this year. Give the Cowboys some credit, but I just thought, because it just seemed to me that Sean panicked. There was no reason, Skip, to go for it on 4th down. None whatsoever. Just take the field goal.
That's who he is. That's who he's always been.
I think because the Cowboys had such success early, moving the ball against his defense, he didn't feel like his defense was going to be able to settle down.
I just think he's a front runner, and he's full of himself, and he thinks he's got the most potent offense ever. It's like, a yard? We can get a yard.
But you said Dak did the unthinkable when he fumbled on the 6.
Yep.
It should have never been that. Michael Gallup had a wide-open touchdown.
Okay.
And Dak overthrew him by 10 yards.
I agree.
Skip, you can't do that.
Okay, he hit him in the first quarter for 40, and I give him that.
That was a great throw.
He just missed him. He threw it with conviction. I'll always take the overthrow versus the underthrow on that. He didn't choke and pull the string on it. He stepped into it and just flat out overthrew it.
But
I agree. I fell on the floor on that one.
When he's that wide open, Skip, even if you have to make him stop.
I know.
Yes.
I got it. I got it. But he did a whole bunch of warrior things. He is a warrior winner.
Those two first downs that he got scrambling was huge for him.
So, to cap off what happened at the end of the game, even though Drew Brees throws the interception, it ain't over yet because there's still way too much time left, and you've got to pull something off to kill the clock.
Right.
So what do? They threw it into the end zone to an Amari Cooper, who, by the way, got 8 targets last night, and guess how many passes he caught? 8. 8 for 8 on targets. Is that wavelength? Is that rapport? Is that connection with the quarterback?
He's good. I mean, you watch him when they re-showing the clips of how he's getting open. I'm telling you, he's very patient. He's fundamentally sound.
And he can run after the catch.
Yeah.
He had one breakaway on Marshawn Lattimore, which brings me to Marshawn.
Rookie defensive player of the year.
You got it. So on the throw into the end zone at the end of the game, at first I didn't think so, but he did reach and hold on to Amari's inside arm. He grabbed his arm just briefly, but enough. I'm good with the flag. It was a worthwhile flag. It was justified. But you know why it was justice on this play? Because what did Marshawn Lattimore do when Amari Cooper was forced to fumble in the first half? What did he do? He immediately ran all the way to Zeke's kettle at the end of the back of the end zone, and he put $23 in it because he wears number 23. I guess he thinks he's Michael Jordan. I don't know who he thinks he is. But he put $23 in the kettle, obviously premeditated.
Yeah.
It was an in-your-face Zeke in Zeke's house. It was akin to, maybe not quite, but it's like celebrating on the star.
Yeah.
Isn't it close to? Because that's Zeke's kettle, man.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Okay? And as soon as he did that, I tweeted, make him pay for the donation he just made. Make him pay. And I think in the end of the game, justice prevailed because he paid with a pass interference penalty that ended the game. And it was hard for me to even do the math, but they start kneeling at the one. I'm thinking, just ram it in. Just make it 20-10.
You don't want to run the risk.
Kneel.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't doing the math that the clock's going to run completely out if you just kneel it 3 times. So the point is, that defense last night, it came of age.
Right.
It's still very young, but Jerry Jones said after the game, that's a championship defense, and that's what I saw last night. I saw plays being made all over the place by young players who are starting to play like veteran players. That's why this team is dangerous. In the age of offense, when almost everybody else is doing it with their offense, except for the Chicago Bears, the team, to me, that is most dangerous is now doing it with its defense, right?
Yeah, they are, Skip. I thought it was a very poorly officiated game. You touched on this on both sides. There were a lot of plays missed. Jalen Smith launched himself. He went helmet to helmet with Alvin Kamara.
Should have been called.
That's
okay.
You got to call that.
All right, but Dak got his face mask grabbed. You got to call that.
But guess
How do you miss that?
On 3rd and 17, they got hands to the face. He just threw the ball away. So it kind of played itself out.
I thought it went both ways.
But Skip, I don't know why all of a sudden, since that game on Monday night with the Rams in Kansas City, we're going to these all-star crews. Normally, the all-star crews are reserved for the playoffs. The highest-rated guy at each position get to do the playoff games. There's no need for that in the regular season. Reward the guys that have done a great job in the regular season with playoffs. Don't start mixing and matching because these guys don't need to be mixed and matched. And so I didn't like that. So I think everybody missed some calls. Skip, Drew Brees played terrible.
Well, he was made to play.
No. I want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Now, this is the 3rd game in which he's been under 170 yards. That's the 3rd game. Now, my homeboy, we're going to talk about Patrick Mahomes. Now, Drew Brees has 2 losses. He lost to Dak and he lost to Fitzmagic. My guy has lost to Jared Goff and Tom Brady. Now, which one?
You don't like Tom Brady.
Which one?
That's a joke game, right?
Which 2 of those guys you
Tom
want
Brady
on your
should be
resume?
retired, according to Shannon Sharpe.
Which of those guys you want on your resume? You want Fitzmagic and Dak, or you want Goff and Tom Brady? I'm just saying, Skip Bayless, but you know he played bad.
I think you just made a case for Tom Brady being the MVP
Stop playing.
discussion. Well, I don't know.
Stop.
That's what it sounds like.
Let me ask you this, Skip. If you ask Sean Payton at the beginning of the night, we're going to hold a team that's won 3 straight. We're going to hold them to 13 points. Sean Payton said, we got this. Because that's what his defense did. They sacked Dak 7 times.
He's got a really good defense.
Yeah.
So to your point, if you told me that Dallas would lose the turnover battle 2-1, 2-1,
Yes.
and if you told me Dak would go down 7 times, and if you would have told me that my guy number 94, Randy Gregory, would commit 2 horrendous penalties that looked like they had flipped the game on its head in favor of Drew Brees,
Yes.
and if you told me that Ezekiel Elliott would need a 21-yard breakaway at the end of the game, near the end of the game, to get to 76 yards total for the game rushing, 76 rushing, I would have said I have no way in this game.
I would agree with you.
But now let's get back to number 4, my guy Dak Prescott. Again, he does some bad things and he does some great things, because do not underestimate what he did in the first half, because he had 3 long drives in the first half, and against that defense, it's hard to drive it as far as he did. But in the opening drive, he went 12 plays, 67 yards. These are shades of 2016 drives. And that was for a field goal. Next one, 8 plays, 85 yards for the touchdown, including 2 sweet calls from Scott Linehan on the screen passes.
Yes.
Zeke 15 yards on screen passes.
Correct.
They were inspired calls. They were beautifully executed screen pass plays right on time. And then the final one comes after the 4th and goal play, because Sean Payton's thinking, okay, if we do somehow miss this, they're stuck at the 1-yard line, right?
Yeah.
And by the way, I got to give my man DeMarcus Lawrence Taylor a little call out here. He made the first part of that play on the 4th and goal, because he came all the way across and grabbed, who was it, Kamara?
Yeah. And that's what I don't understand, Skip. You know the end's going to be crashing.
Okay.
The last thing you would expect was what?
Yeah.
Drew Brees to keep the ball.
Okay, well.
Walk-in touchdown.
Okay, that's not what he does.
But that's why you do it.
All right, so you're stuck. 1st and 10 at the 1-yard line, and Dak Prescott leads them on a 16-play, 70-yard drive, converting 2 huge third downs, where I'm just saying, really? And they got a field goal out of it, and that's the whole, that's all the scoring. But those are 3 long clock-eating drives where you win the game of keep away.
For me,
give Dak some credit for the 3
he
drives.
does, but Skip, the thing was that I felt really comfortable is that they had those sustained drives, and only once did they pay it off with a touchdown. So I'm saying, look here, as bad as the Saints are playing, and as good as the Cowboys are playing, there's still only 2 touchdowns, touchdowns, and they're in the lead. So the Saints going in the half like, look, guys, we can't play any worse than what we played. They can't play any better than what they played. And we're still only 2 touchdowns down. So you had to feel good knowing that you got Drew Brees, who was your MVP. Is that your king? In the words of Killmonger, is that your king, Skip Bayless?
He needed to be your king last night, and I could just see your face when he threw that interception, because you probably thought you were sitting pretty.
And guess what I tweeted? My homeboys back in the MVP league. That's what I immediately tweeted. So all is not lost, Skip Bayless.
Even though he still trails in QBR, Drew Brees.
That's okay. You know who got the Raiders on Sunday? Another 5 touchdown, 400-yard performance. And
okay, that's it. Okay, here we go.
But that's okay. Skip, I want you to enjoy this. I want you to enjoy this.
Because you think it's going to end?
This is your moment.
Next Monday night, a week from Monday night?
This is your moment.
Your Eagles visit. Okay, you got this? Yeah.
Fly, Eagles, fly. And guess what? When the Eagles leave that game, guess who'll be in first place in the NFC East, Skip Bayless? You want some dew on that?
Yes, I do. You've already got 6 cases
so
on it.
So we got another case. So we got another case.
Okay.
After next next Monday night, the Eagles will lead that game first place in the NFC East.
I'll do that. Thank you. I'm gonna have a swimming pool.
No, you're not about to have nothing. It's about to be
fill
dry.
the whole thing up. Well, as we heard the Cowboys players say after the game, they shocked the world. It was an impressive win. We have plenty more Cowboys talk coming up later in the show, but we're moving on. LeBron had some very interesting comments after the Lakers game last night. We're going to discuss
What
that
about
next.
that performance?
No mercy.
The Lakers beat the Pacers last night, 1 game after their worst loss of the year in Denver. LA's lead was cut to 1 in the 4th quarter. Then LeBron took over. He finished with 38 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists. And the Lakers won by 8 after the game. LeBron talked about when to pass and when to take over. Take a listen.
That's the challenging things I've been, kind of battling with, since the season has started. On how much do I, defer and allow, some of our young guys to kind of try to figure out, and how much do I try to take over games. So, I think tonight was one of those instances where, they looked at me and they wanted me to close the game, and I just tried to make plays, both offensively and defensively.
Shannon, what do you make of those comments?
I've said this, Skip. A lot of times you say, well, LeBron is right there for you to to close this out. And I said, what he's trying to do, Skip, is he's trying to get some of these young guys to come along. So he needs to, see, he's not in a situation like Golden State. When Steph Curry is healthy, Kevin Durant doesn't have to worry about always closing because he can defer to Steph. Or Houston, when Chris Paul's healthy, James Harden doesn't always have to worry because he has Chris Paul. Well, LeBron James doesn't have that luxury. He had hoped that Brandon Ingram by now, Skip, would be ready to do this.
To close games?
That's what you said.
In place of LeBron James?
No, Skip.
What?
We're going to talk about Magic comments. LeBron heard what Magic said. We're going to talk about that later. So, but what you hope is that no one person closes every single game. You need, because when they blitz you and get the ball out of your hands, you have to have enough confidence to give it up, not force it like someone else we know. Now, we know a guy that will force it. We'll shoot 40-plus times a game, don't we, Skip? But he might get you a triple-double, but it's going to take him 40 shots to do it. We're not going to go there. So if you don't mind.
Well, I saw Kevin Durant just go berserk last night trying to close that game.
And if I hadn't closed my restaurant, he'd have been eating right there with the Saints. But I closed it last night because I had a feeling something bad might happen.
You should give him 51 pieces of
give
chicken or whatever,
51
right?
pieces of nothing, Skip. And he's tried to, like, okay, you watch the game, Skip. They up by 23. LeBron goes to the bench, and then all of a sudden, here they come again. Boom. He comes back in the game. Now, Brandon Ingram, Skip, I don't know if you noticed this, but anybody on the Lakers that played 10 or more minutes, Brandon Ingram was the only guy that had a plus minus. There's something going on. I don't know if you noticed it. Now, Magic talked about, he don't want to turn this into a Cleveland situation. But I tell you what, if you don't let LeBron take this thing over, you're going to be in a Cleveland situation. Getting the number 2 pick, getting the number 1 pick. I get it.
Wow. So Brandon Ingram is now your new Kevin Love this year.
No.
He's your scapegoat.
Hold on. Everybody keeps saying Brandon Ingram's got next. Brandon Ingram's that guy.
Your guy said next.
Yeah.
LeBron said he's got next.
Magic sat right here and said it. That he likes Brandon Ingram. You see him getting more confidence. Magic said it. But at some point in time, Skip, look, LeBron is going to be LeBron. He's going to say, okay, I'm going to let y'all look at the third quarter, Skip. How do you go from up 23 to down 3 against them without their best player? Because LeBron is, bring it up, Brandon Ingram, you do it. Kyle Kuzma, have at it. And then all of a sudden they're like, Daddy, help us. LeBron get the thing, boop, 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 lay up, boop, 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 pass it, dunk. And now order is restored. He's a soothing, he's a calming effect. He's like lavender. He's like what they call terrapin, Skip. You know that smell you get, it's found in orange peels. It's found in lavender. It's found in, scent, Skip. You know what I'm talking about? You don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, he's a soothing, he's a calming effect. Like a lullaby. Babies, how you sing sometimes to me, they're like, rock-a-bye. That's what he can do for you, Skip Bayless. And at some point in time, you're going to give him his due. 38, 9, and 7. And
he's given me a lot of due, as in DEW, as
I'll
in winning
get it back.
diet due.
I will get it back.
Thank you, LeBron.
I will get it back.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
You finished?
Yeah, I'm finished.
Good, because I'm starting. And thank you for pointing out Victor Oladipo did not play for the Indiana Pacers last night. And I don't know how the Pacers could have won any game last night wearing those uniforms, because those were eyesores.
You like the Hickories?
Come on. Today's kids put those uniforms on it and look in the mirror and say, I can't play in this.
No, they're not.
I can't shoot in it. I can't dribble in it. No. I just can't win in these uniforms. I'm sorry. It's over. No. So you should have won that game by 23 or whatever it was. Now, I'm sorry. I got to do this today. As happy as I am about my Cowboys. And by the way, LeBron could have been distracted by the Cowboy game last night.
He wasn't distracted.
Yes, he was, because he's the biggest Cowboy fan, and I love him for that. He's just loyal to the core. A Clevelander, an Akroner for the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know how it happened, but that's what happened. But I have to call baloney on your man LeBron James for what he said after the game.
Okay.
This is classic LeBron blame deflection, because he's trying to get people to understand that some nights when he fails to close, that he's actually looking to the kids to close. No, he's not. They are not looking to themselves to close. It's like it's up to them. Do you guys want me to close, or do you guys want to? Baloney! He has to close every game. He's by far the best player on a solo star team. There is no second star. There's no second banana. There's no co-star for sure. And these kids are still just kids. And LeBron is trying to present it like, I look to them. Do you guys want me to do this? Baloney. He doesn't do that.
Yeah, he does.
He's supposed to close every game. And I'm going to reiterate this because it's becoming more and more of a factor. I look back at 6 games that he should have closed. At Portland, the first game at home against Houston, the brawl game, the first San Antonio game here and there. Both of those games were just begging to be won by LeBron James. At Minnesota, you remember that game, begging to be won by LeBron. And then it brings me back to Orlando here last Sunday night. Obviously, they got blown out in Orlando by Orlando on a Saturday night. It was jet lag. That's what LeBron said.
He didn't say that.
This was his game to close. So he's trying to deflect blame off what happened just last Sunday night because with 47 seconds left, the game is tied. He's got Aaron Gordon on him on the perimeter. Aaron Gordon has 5 fouls.
Yeah.
This is the greatest attacker of the basket in the history of basketball, LeBron James. Nobody can keep him from the rim, especially Aaron Gordon with 5 fouls. And what does he do? He steps back and shoots a 3. No. And, of course, he LeBricked the 3, and then he goes down to the other end, and I guess he was so distracted that he lets Terrence Ross blow right by him.
He didn't blow. He overplayed.
Well, okay, but you can't do that. That's the game's on the line, and Terrence Ross gets a layup.
Okay.
I'm not finished.
Okay.
I'm not finished. So we come down to the other end. Now it's still a 2-point game, and to LeBron's credit, he takes the ball to the basket on Vucevic, and he goes up and under. It was a sweet move, and he had him dead to rights, 1 foot from the basket. And the worst thing that can happen is you're going to get fouled. But we all know LeBron is afraid of the late game free throw line because that's not his strength. I'm going to be honest.
Late game?
Huh?
Early game.
Okay, early game. He was 6 out of 10 last night, and
Exactly.
your 80% bet is starting to look dimmer and dimmer. But the point is that, okay, you're going to have to go shoot probably 2 free throws to tie the game, and he doesn't want to do that.
Right.
Maybe you could and one him, and then you could be shooting 1 free throw to win the game.
Right.
And I would kind of like LeBron in that situation, but instead he's 1 foot from the basket, and he kicks it out to KCP for a 3. And I'm saying, what are you doing? You're the best player on the planet, according to my partner.
He is.
And, okay, well, if he is, then you just finish that
You
play.
ain't have no problem
I'm
with
sorry.
He kicked it to KCP last
Okay,
night
but
twice.
That's just closing. So then last night, he did close the game against a no Victor Oladipo Pacers. That's good.
But even if he closed, you don't give him credit for
I'll
closing.
give him credit against a legit, like the Mavericks. They're playing really well. If he can close the Maverick game, I'll give him an ovation.
They ain't going to
here.
need him closing
Yeah.
because we're going to blow him out.
Okay, well, you better, because it's back-to-back. And did LeBron
It
gas
ain't no
himself
back-to-back.
out? Huh?
They play tomorrow night,
Oh,
right?
is it? I thought it was
It's tonight.
back-to-back.
It is tonight.
It is tonight, right?
Tonight.
How many minutes did LeBron end up playing?
38.
38. Okay, is that high for him?
Yeah.
It's a little above his average, right?
A lot above his average.
Okay, well, is he going to have some tired legs tonight?
No.
I don't know.
Did you see him? He was on Instagram had them therapeutic boots on last
Did
night.
he?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I hope they work.
They do
For
work.
his
I
sake.
got me a pair of them, too.
Okay,
You need to get you
just
a pair.
because he got some?
No, I had mine first. But
Did you get him for him?
No, but here's the thing, Skip. You remember when Luke Walton called to play down the stretch for Brandon Ingram?
Do I? And for Kuzma.
And you said, why not? Okay, then. So how can LeBron? But I guess that was those.
No, I didn't say why not unless you've just given up on him as the closer.
No. So I guess, you know, that scout that said LeBron is ignoring Luke Walton, I guess those two was 2 incidents that he didn't ignore Luke Walton.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, you pick and
Look.
choose what you want to see.
I told you the other day, do you want to make Kyle Kuzma the closer? Because if you do, you need to do it every night.
But-
on any close game, down the stretch, you should run every play for Kyle
But
Kuzma.
here's the thing.
And by the way, he's got the backbone and the nerve to do this.
But here's the thing about closing. It's not always about scoring. The thing about what
Okay,
makes LeBron so unique is not only can he score, he can also put other people in
And
position to score.
I agree with
These
you.
other guys
but
can't
I told
do
you
that.
the other day, let LeBron facilitate, let Kuzma close. Is he old enough to be a legitimate veteran closer? Not yet, but he could figure it out.
Well,
I've got
Donovan Mitchell seemed to be doing just fine closing.
Well, he was,
Is he any younger or older than Ingram or Kuzma? He seems to be just fine doing it.
If he could make a three-point shot, he'd be better. But that's
Jason
an issue.
Tatum,
Yeah.
he closed a lot down in the
He
playoff.
did.
Is he any younger or older than
Okay.
these guys? Of course not.
Is LeBron James a Utah Jazz? No, he's not. Is he a Celtic? Nope, he's not. So,
Did they close last year?
okay, but Kyrie was hurt last year.
No, I'm saying,
Yeah.
did Ingram or Kuzma close last year?
I'm not sure who closed. They took turns, yeah.
All I'm saying-
I think Kuzma started to show he had the most guts on the team.
Skip, there's a fine line between doing too much and not doing enough. And sometimes we criticize LeBron for doing too much. Sometimes we criticize him for not doing enough. That's the balance. He's made it abundantly clear. Skip, I believe him.
Okay?
I believe him when he
you
says.
you can't build in the excuse of when he doesn't close that he can say, they didn't want me to close.
No, Skip, he
Really?
didn't. See, you see how you do it. You
that's
see how
what
you
I
do
said.
that, Skip. You see what you did. I asked you, I said, Skip, would you like me to get you a birthday cake? It's not good enough I get you a 2-layer cake.
Okay,
you
but
want a 10-layer.
This is the last line of this quote I'm reading. I think tonight was one of those instances where they looked at me and they wanted me to close the game.
Right.
So you're just looking at them like, you guys, do you want me to close? He's the king.
Because if you-
yes, they want you to close every game. Every game,
How about-
all 82.
How about this?
It's over.
It's
Just,
not gonna
just
happen. Nobody,
write it on the bulletin board.
Nobody closing all 82 together. But anyway,
Yeah.
but if you look at the third quarter, Skip, LeBron was in the game. Brandon Ingram brought the ball up every single time. It wasn't until Indiana made that move and got the lead with about 3 minutes left in the third that all of a sudden, what did he do, Skip Bayless? What did Lonzo do? They threw the ball to 2-3. And what did he do, Skip?
They should throw it to
Okay,
2-3.
okay, then why you dribbling up the court then? You didn't want to pass it to him because you thought you could handle it. Yeah, you thought you could. LeBron said, okay, I will let you go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to let you go ahead and get your head bust. And then you're going to come in here crying.
Yeah.
And my grandma used to always say, see, I told you to sit your butt down.
All right, so here come those Dallas Mavericks, winners of 3 in a row,
You want some
7
do
of
on-
8.
you
No,
want
I
some-
don't.
Why not?
Because I don't
They got
have-
Luka
I don't have-
Doncic.
And he's going to be the rookie of the year.
Okay, well, put something on it.
No. I mean, you're at home. You're the king.
What they got to do with
You're the
anything?
Dallas Mavericks.
They
This is at least a legitimate, reasonable test.
And didn't they just bust the Rockets' head by 20?
They did.
Okay, then so what's the
Well,
problem?
the Rockets didn't have Chris Paul, and they don't have a lot of things in their heads
They got the MVP last year, James Harden.
Well, they do.
Okay. So what? So
will be
can
a
I get
battle.
some Duke?
Nope.
You a chicken.
I'm not a chicken.
Yeah, you are.
I don't want to bet on the Dallas Mavericks. I just don't
Well,
have
stop-
any.
well, stop
I don't have
hyping
any
them.
stake in this.
Well, stop
I'm
hyping
just
them.
saying. No, I'm hyping the game for your sake. I'm saying this has some credibility. No Oladipo has little to no credibility.
Hey, don't worry about it. We beat whoever's out there on the court.
Okay, great.
Well, okay, what happened? You didn't say nothing when they didn't have Kawhi. Toronto didn't have Kawhi and blew the doors off us.
Who?
Toronto.
Who?
Toronto. You know who?
I don't know who it is.
They the big guy.
I never heard of
Kawhi.
that guy. Who is he?
You know who he is.
Huh? He's blocked out.
They the big
I
dinosaurs.
blocked him in
They're
my
no
mind.
longer the baby dinosaurs.
Huh?
They're big
Really?
dinosaurs. Yeah.
How did they win without number 2 at LA? That's
Stop doing that, Skip.
I don't know. He plays when he feels like it, but
Why you care? You like DeMar DeRozan. We got the better than we got DeMar DeRozan. On DeMar DeRozan's best day, he can't
what
see.
did I tell you before the year started? You better be careful because the Lakers are going to be the second best team in Los Angeles. Is it looking that way right now?
No.
Yep.
I bet we beat him.
Yep.
I love
Yep.
Doc. Doc
Am I
came out
right?
here.
Am I right?
Doc came out here.
Maybe.
I bet
It's early.
You
It's
want
early.
some dew?
It's early.
Do you want some dew on it?
On what?
On the game, the Clippers and the Lakers.
No. December,
wait.
December 28th.
Then
is
why
the
you
first
keep
time.
on
They played
talking?
4 times.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can do on all 4.
Okay.
I'm going to take the Lakers tonight, too.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But you take the Lakers every night.
Nothing wrong with that. No mercy. Next up, the Cowboys had a huge upset win against the Saints last night. Dak Prescott threw a touchdown pass to Ezekiel Elliott in the first half. And that was all the Cowboys needed because their defense was incredible, holding the Saints to 10 points. After the game, Jerry Jones talked about what a win like this means for his team. Take a listen.
This bunch, this team won't be the same again. I'm serious. You win something like this against a team that well coached, those kind of players, caliber a team like that, and you know you've done it. Your mirror knows you've done it. You change. This is a changer in here. These guys they're different cats now as they go forward.
Feeling good.
Wow.
Shannon,
Yikes.
how far can the Cowboys go?
Wow.
Wow.
I guess Tennessee Titans, that's a game changer. They beat the Patriots. That's a game that'll never be the same. Detroit, they beat the Patriots. They'll never be the same. Jacksonville, they beat the Patriots. They'll never be the same. Skip, stop it. I've never seen, boy, that Jerry Jones, Skip, that joke can sell. Boy, they say when he says he's a salesman, man, Jerry Jones can, ooh, woo. Skip, stop. Divisional. I don't see them getting to the championship game. Because here's the thing. Do I believe they can go on the road and do to the Saints in their building what they did last night? I do not.
I do not either.
Do I
agree
believe they
with
can
you.
come to the Coliseum and do that to the Rams, what they did to the Saints last night? I do not either.
I'm not sure about
The
that.
Ram
one.
ambassador, I wish the Ram ambassador was here today.
Yeah, I do too. Yep.
Skip, look. As great as we think this offense is, they're 24th in scoring. Now, in 2000, the Ravens.
You're talking about the Cowboys
offense. Now, the Ravens, our anemic offense, we went 5 games without scoring a touchdown. we average more points per game than the Cowboys do right now. In that time, let that sink in for a second, Skip Bayless. They're 27th in total offense, 28th in red zone touchdowns. They were shut out in the second half, and they won. That's what we get caught up in. They won. But how many games you gonna win, Skip Bayless, if you don't score a point in the second half? How many times you get sacked? 7 times, and you turn it over twice. How many games you gonna win, Skip Bayless?
Yep.
Because that's what happened. Do you believe Drew Brees will have this anemic of a performance again?
Nope.
I do not.
Nope.
Do you believe? Now, we haven't seen Jared Goff have a performance like this all year. Now, he could do, but I don't believe so. I don't believe Sean McVay. Now, the game kind of dictated that it got away from when they played the last couple of weeks ago on Monday night, that Todd Gurley wasn't going to be relied as heavily upon because the game was so up and back and forth, and you don't need running the ball was obsolete. But in a game like this, there was no reason for Sean Payton to abandon the run. So I believe the Cowboys, they're going to be a wild card because the Eagles going to win the division. So at best case,
talk about that in a minute.
best case,
Yeah.
best case scenario,
Okay.
you can get to the divisionals.
Divisionals.
Best case.
Win one playoff game?
That's what I said.
Yep. Okay. So, this is what I believe after I barely slept last night. And I will be the first to admit that I was right in the same mode as Jerry Jones we saw in that video that we just watched. He was about to burst every blood vessel in his face. He was out of his mind, and last night, so was I. I'm worn out, I'm strung out, I'm stressed out. Maybe I'm not thinking clearly. But after what I saw, not just last night, but over the last 4 weeks, 4 games, this team can beat anybody in the NFC except New Orleans at New Orleans. I do not think they could pull that off. Could they beat the Rams in LA? I believe they could, because the Rams don't have nearly the home field advantage that New Orleans has on that turf in that Superdome. It's a hard place to win. I would give Dallas a chance there, but not a great chance. I wouldn't feel nearly as good about the game as I did going into last night.
I thought you liked the Rams' offensive weapons better. You just like the Saints' quarterback better.
I don't love the Rams' defense, and I haven't all year.
Okay.
They got Talib back. Is it going to be a game changer?
I believe so.
Are they going to be different cats, as Jerry says, after Talib comes back? Are they going to look in the mirror and feel differently about themselves? Maybe. But the point is that the first thing I got to do is I got to give a credit to one guy. I got to eat my little share of crow here today. I said the day after the draft, what are they thinking drafting that kid from Boise State? Because I watched one Boise State game last year against Josh Allen, only to watch Josh Allen, and Leighton Vander Esch never jumped off the screen to me. I did not notice him on their defense. So when they took him, all I knew was I'd watched one TV game, and unless you flash to me, you're not a first rounder.
Right.
And you know how much I loved DJ Moore before the draft. Right. He's just sitting right there, and they need a receiver. But did I know they were going to be able to go get Amari Cooper? I did not know.
I don't think anybody knew.
Okay.
They didn't even know.
So that canceled out not taking DJ Moore. And this kid, Leighton Vander Esch, I got to tell you, and I think you're with me. He's pretty special.
He can play.
Okay. And now they got this thing going because I just read this in USA Today today. I did not know why he was doing the wolf howl last night, and they're doing it when they leave him for last in the introductions of the defense, and they play the wolf howl over the PA system because the Cowboys staff, before the draft, started calling him the Wolf Hunter. Why is that? Because his father, and they're from Riggins, Idaho, runs a wolf and bear hunting company where they take people to Alaska to hunt bear and whatnot. So Leighton grew up hunting wolves in Idaho. So they call him the Wolf Hunter. So now he's doing the howl. Thank you. So it got contagious, and now everybody's doing it, and it's taken the place of this. So now the defense has a this, and all of a sudden it's just starting to take off around number 55, double nickels. And he's flying. Listen, do I think he's as good as Jalen Smith? I don't.
No.
But they a good tandem, as you said?
Yeah, as good as in the NFL.
And they're so young, but they play so smart that they always seem to be in the right place at the right time.
Skip, I know you love him. But if I'm Sean Lee, I'm sending my resume out to 31 other teams because he'll never see the field again in Dallas.
Well, unless they put him at one of the outside, like that Damian Wilson plays the far outside back.
Over.
I don't know. It could be.
It's over.
I mean, how can you? I can't
over.
justify it. Well, plus it's over because he's got a defective hamstring, and even if he comes back, well, how long will he last? 4 plays? 7 plays? 8
Skip,
plays?
Let's just say, for the sake of argument, he's healthy. I don't know. I mean, Sean Lee was a very good player, but this kid here,
he's longer. He's rangier.
And he ain't missing no tackles.
No.
When he get there, wherever he gets you at, you're going down. He and that Jalen Smith.
Yep. So all of a sudden, the defense has a new spirit. And Jerry scares me because he already went to this is our Super Bowl before the game, and now he's acting like they just won the Super Bowl after the game. And unfortunately, they still have to play the Eagles, and then they have to go to Indy, and then they got Tampa Bay, and
Tampa done.
Yeah, okay, and then they got to go to the Giants to finish the game.
One thing, this is what, and you're going to be so upset that I'm going to say this, but there's one thing that will hold the Cowboys back. And he happens to touch the ball on every single play.
Okay.
That's going to be your undoing, Skip Bayless.
You know what? The more I watch him, the more I love him because he's doing it unconventionally. He sometimes has to do it with his legs. He will make key plays with his legs.
He'll make key mistakes.
He will, but you know what? He has a warrior spirit that is the spirit of that offense. It revolves around number 4.
Guess what?
And between him, does anybody run harder than Ezekiel? He's like a contortionist in the hole. He'll have no yards, and he just contorts and scratches and claws and gets 4. I don't know how he does it, and Dak will make 2 or 3 runs a game like that. But by the way, Dak set a franchise record last night, 18 straight completions.
Stop it, Skip.
You believe in that?
Skip,
so
that's
the guy
a
who
bull-jive
can't
stat.
throw, the guy who's inaccurate, completed 18 straight balls. How do you do that?
And the guy that you said throws the shot put, Marcus Mariota, was 23 or 24. And do you know who Phillip Rivers tied for the most consecutive completions in NFL history? Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill, Skip.
Well, interesting. And all of a sudden, he's got a true number 1 receiver. And guess who might be back pretty soon?
But the Cowboys don't have a true number 1 quarterback.
Okay, but remember a little Tavon Austin? You want to talk about electric? You want to talk about adding a little juice to this offense? He's going to come back.
I told you, he'll catch you, guy.
Does Michael Gallup look like a really good 3rd-round pick to you as a rookie? He's starting to look like he can play a little bit, right? He can put moves on people and get
Looks
behind
like Dak can't find him most of the time, though. But that's neither here nor there. I'll let you go ahead.
And by the way, a guy I thought was indispensable, the best left tackle in football, Tyron Smith, has now not played 2 straight games, and they won both games because they got Tom Brady's right tackle, Cam Fleming, and they moved him to left tackle. Did they get away with it last night against a really good team? They did.
No, because Cam Jordan, you keep talking about
okay, but Cam Jordan came from the other side.
I know, but you keep saying Connor Williams. Lyle Collins was holding you guys back, Skip, because he giving up sacks and getting holding calls left and right.
Okay, but I told you what I would do if I coached a team. I would move Lyle back to his natural position of left guard,
But I thought
and I
you
would
liked
put Cam Fleming. Okay, well we could mix and match those. But Ty Smith is going to come back. He's got a stinger, and he's going to come back for the Eagles game.
But, Skip, the one thing you cannot have if you play NFL football is a stinger. Because guess what? You get hit. And linemen, they hit every play.
Yep.
It ain't like a wide receiver because sometimes, if I don't catch the pass, I can just run. How does he get away from not getting hit, Skip?
Yeah. Well, all I know is I believe that the Dallas Cowboys could beat the Chicago Bears. Let's say they beat them. They could beat them in the playoffs. It might be 13-10 again, but they might beat them. They could beat them. And how about the Minnesota Vikings? Kirk Cousins is 0-4 against Dak Prescott and 1-6 in his career against Dallas.
He's 1-4 against Washington. He's a different player in Minnesota.
Oh, is he a different player? I don't think he is. So I got that one. I'm good with that one. So there's only one matchup I don't love, and it's at New Orleans. And other than that, I give this team a shot to shock the world and get all the way home.
Yeah, y'all going home.
Yeah.
But you're going to be
I'm
cleaning out your
talking
locker.
about home to Atlanta.
You know that you ain't going to Atlanta. I'm going home. That's my home.
Okay.
In Dallas, the Cowboys aren't welcome. So you're not going, Skip Bayless. You welcome. You can come.
I think this team, I kept telling you, it's poised for takeoff. And the last thing I'll say is I loved what Zeke said after the game. He said, the crazy thing is we didn't play that well tonight. We can play better than this.
Skip, we've seen your offense. Skip,
Correct.
Skip. We've seen your offense, so how much longer do we see? Your defense is unbelievable. So how much more do we need to see of your offense? This is who and what you are.
Do you like the 4-game sample size? I think it's enough.
Your defense has been unbelievable.
I'm feeling real good.
How many more games you think you're going to win scoring 13 points?
I'm going to say it one more time. Don't let this team actually gel and click and hit on all cylinders. Yep.
So now y'all not gelling.
Yep.
Now you're not gelling.
The offense hasn't gelled yet.
Maybe you're not going to gel.
All right, guys, we are moving to the other side of the ball. Did Drew Brees lose the MVP last night? We'll discuss that next.
No mercy.
Drew Brees was the MVP favorite before last night's game, but that might not be the case anymore. He struggled all night and was held to just 127 passing yards. The Saints only scored 10 points, and Brees threw an interception with just over 2 minutes left. That cost the Saints a chance to win. So, Shannon, how will this game affect the MVP race?
Oh, Patrick Mahomes, a.k.a. Patrick Mahomes, boy, is back in the league.
Is he?
Yeah, he's in the catbird seat.
Says you?
He's in the catbird seat now. Skip Bayless, you know Drew Brees threw for 127 yards all last night?
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes has 7 quarters or more than 127 yards passing. Now, they both have 2 losses. But in Patrick Mahomes' 2 losses, he's averaging 415 yards passing with 5 touchdowns. But his defense is giving up 48.5 points in those game losses. Can you imagine? Do you ever think the Kansas City Chiefs will lose a game in which their defense hold a team to 13 points? Because that's what happened last night, Skip Bayless. Drew Brees on his watch. You say the national televised, that was Patrick Mahomes. He cost him the game.
Well, he did.
What did Drew do last night? Did he cost him the game? Yes or no? Simple yes or no?
Well, he just threw 1 interception as opposed to the eyesore game that Patrick Mahomes played here in the Coliseum against the Rams, in which he committed 5 turnovers, 2 for touchdowns.
Guess what? And he still threw more touchdowns than he had turnovers. Drew Brees had 1 and 1. Oh, my bad. My bad. 2 and 1. 2 and 1. Turning the ball over, fumbling the ball. Look scared. Patrick Mahomes has never looked scared, Skip Bayless. You know that and I know that. Drew Brees losses, Dak Prescott, Ryan Fitzpatrick. Patrick Mahomes losses, Jared Goff, Tom Brady. Skip, this thing was neck and neck. Now, with 1 fewer game, Patrick Mahomes has 366 more yards and 7 more touchdowns. Now, at the end of Sunday night, what do you think those numbers will be? I feel comfortable in saying, I feel real comfortable, Alex, that my homeboy's now in the catbird seat. He got an old nice, nice Rolls Royce, Skip. He driving out. I can see him coming down right now, coming down Sunset like this here on an old big boy. Drew Brees is in trouble, Skip Bayless. It's over. In the words of Luther Vandross, it's over now.
Is that what he's?
Yep.
So, Alex, do you find it odd that Shannon Sharpe, who played for the Denver Broncos and despised the Kansas City Chiefs, is now trying to make the case for a Kansas City Chief quarterback being the MVP? Do you know no shame, Shannon Sharpe?
That lets you know I'm unbiased.
Unbiased?
I'm unbiased.
You don't have deep, dark hatred of the Kansas City Chiefs? Thank you.
Raiders, too.
Yeah, so I don't know how you can defend a Patrick Mahomes who got outgunned by an aging 41-year-old quarterback that you say should be retired by now, and that quarterback threw for 182 in the fourth quarter to just
How many yards did he throw
show
for?
up.
How many yards did he throw for in the fourth quarter? 182. Drew Brees had that for 4 quarters.
Oh, really?
Thank you. You're making my point. Go ahead, keep going. Keep it going. I don't even want to talk no more. You keep making them points like that.
You know, it's highly possible that Drew Brees just ran into what could become an all-time great defense last night.
See, there you go.
Was
Okay,
it
Jerry
possible?
Jones.
And you know who reminded me of something? My man Derek Brooks, the Hall of Famer, your
I know.
fellow Hall of Famer.
He texted me last night.
He texted me again this morning, and he said, you know, that game reminded him of what they did in '99 as the Tampa defense when they went to the greatest show on turf in the NFC Championship game ahead of the Super Bowl.
Yes.
And they held Kurt Warner and company to, the final score was 11-6. Well, now, they lost that game, and St. Louis went on to win the Super Bowl over Tennessee. But the point was 11 points, and, you know, Dallas held, obviously, Drew Brees to 10 points. Well, it happens when you really know how to play defense. You have a good, sound scheme, and you can get after the passer.
Right.
In this case, they made Drew Brees look like he's too small. That's what they made him look like. They made him look like he's a 6-foot quarterback who was a little overmatched last night, right? Yeah. But there's still this thing called body of work, and there's still this thing called prisoner of moment, and you're just being prisoner of moment because it's all you got today, and it's okay.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's what you were last Monday. When my homeboy turned the ball over, you was talking about, Shannon, how do I get past this?
Well,
how do I
can't.
get past this?
Okay, so they both have a blemish, one bigger than the other, on their resume.
No.
But it ain't over yet, but I'm going to give you this today. The playing field got leveled last night. It is now neck and neck. It is soon to be determined.
It's over.
It's over?
It's over.
How can Drew Brees is still 30 touchdowns to 3 interceptions.
Yeah.
Drew Brees has a QBR even throwing in last night. He had 16 last night, which is lowest in 3 years. But you throw that in, so he's still 85 for the season to 84.
What?
85 to 84.
So guess what? Guess who's gonna be in the front after Sunday game? Guess who will be in the front?
So, help me out here.
Okay.
Higher degree of difficulty, Drew Brees or Patrick Mahomes? Wait a second. Does Drew Brees have a Tyreek on his roster?
See, you see what he did?
Well,
You see what he did?
Do you see one?
Yeah.
Do you see a Travis
No.
Kelce on that roster? Really? Okay. So,
don't do that, Skip. Don't do that.
Is there a Sammy Watkins out there? I don't see one.
And when he didn't have any of those. See, you can't make that argument, Skip, when he plays bad, say he doesn't have anybody. But when he's throwing 5 touchdowns against the Saints to undrafted player, that's Drew Brees' greatness.
Well, it is.
Ooh.
It is. But his receiving core got exposed last night in Dallas.
Maybe he got exposed.
All those undrafted free agents that we don't even know their names, they just all disappeared. They just went up in smoke.
Maybe Drew Brees got exposed.
Well, has he been exposed in his career? He's going on 40 years of age. Has he been around long enough to not get exposed?
Hey,
are you telling me he was always overrated?
All I'm saying is, if I've seen 3 games now which Drew Brees has thrown for less than 175 yards.
What have I told you all year?
Has 2 games less than 300.
What have I told you all year? Drew Brees' best receiver, his best quote-unquote wide receiver, is his running back, Alvin Kamara. And so last night he throws him 11 balls. And he caught 8 of them, but for a grand total of 36 yards because my 2 guided missiles in the middle, they are flying everywhere, and he ain't getting loose on them.
Okay.
No run after catch for Alvin Kamara last night. And then Michael Thomas, he's tremendous. He ran 4.6 at the Combine, so he can't run away from anybody. So Byron Jones was pretty much staying in his hip pocket all night. He grabbed his hip pocket a couple times, and they called him on it. But again, he did a nice job and held him to 5 catches for 40 yards.
If you don't mind me asking, Skip, at Patrick Mahomes' worst, this year, did he ever look as bad as Drew Brees looked last night? Yes or no?
Well, has he played the Dallas defense yet? No.
You play who you play.
Okay.
Skip, hold on.
Speaking of that.
Yeah.
Guess what's coming up after this? They play this junior varsity team from Oakland.
Don't do that,
left
Skip.
of it?
Well, that's your guy.
It's junior
you
varsity.
love John Gruden. That's your guy.
He tore it down so he can build it up.
Okay,
but right now it's torn down to the ground.
We're going to keep it down. We ain't going to let him build it up on our watch, Alex.
After Oakland comes Baltimore, the number 1 ranked defense in pro football, scoring defense.
You won't do?
I don't want to do. I'm just saying he's going to have a hard time against Baltimore because Drew Brees had a hard time against Baltimore. Am I right?
That ain't Patrick Mahomes.
It's at Kansas City. But then you're bullish on those Chargers. That's what you tell me, and that's a big Thursday night game, again, in Kansas City. But will their defense, Joey Bosa's back, right?
They just lost to Case Keenum.
Yeah, okay.
They let Case Keenum in.
Well, they're your Super Bowl pick.
Okay.
Are you done? Are you off the bandwagon?
No.
Okay.
Skip, just because I pick somebody to go to the Super Bowl doesn't mean they're going to win every single game.
Okay. And then your homeboy has to go to Seattle on a Sunday night.
Got him.
Not easy.
It is
that
very easy.
Is he going to throw another big party up there? I don't
big
know.
party.
Yeah. Really?
At the fish market.
Okay. He might throw some to the Seahawks, too.
It's going to be hard to overlook. The man has 53, 54 touchdowns. He might even break the record.
You think so?
In 5,000 yards, Skip, in the number 1 seed. It's going to be awful hard to overlook that. I don't know how you get around it. Name the guy that's thrown 50 touchdowns that didn't win the MVP.
I don't know. All I know is on a really big stage against the Los Angeles Rams, I saw him stink it up the way I've rarely seen a quarterback stink it up.
It was stinker than what Drew did. Was it stinker?
Huh?
Was it stinky?
Well, did he turn the ball over? One time, late. One late turnover, and it was a stinker.
Remember. That's all you remember.
Okay.
Because the final throw, what happened, Skip Bayless? He had an opportunity to make amends. His defense gave up 13 points. Patrick Mahomes said, give me 13 points. His defense giving up 54. His defense giving up 43. How am I? Think about what I got to do, Skip.
Here's
7 sacks. Gave up 7 sacks last night.
So, Drew Brees has at Tampa. He might put up some numbers at Tampa. He just might.
He lost to Fitzpatrick, who got benched again.
Okay, well, he's not playing this time, so that's no problem.
James going to throw it up, too.
Okay.
You know that.
All right. So then Monday night at Carolina. Big stage. Could make a big statement.
Damn.
Right, okay. And then Pittsburgh goes to New Orleans. He might be able to.
Well, Ben, Ben looking for somebody to blame.
Okay.
I got New Orleans.
And then Carolina finishes the year at New Orleans. I will bet you Drew Brees is going to put up some big numbers in these next 4 games. And the better narrative to me is Drew Brees, who's never won an MVP, wins his first at age almost 40. That would be the story.
Nah, it ain't going to be no
It's
story.
narrative.
It ain't going to happen.
Yep.
I got a narrative for you. One of the 3 guys to win the MVP in their second. Look, Dan Marino won it as a sophomore. Kurt Warner won it. It was a rookie season. He's like 27, 28 years of age. But, Skip, how do you overlook 50-plus touchdowns, 5,000 yards?
The truth is, it starts now. The MVP race is starting right now, and I'm telling you, it's 50-50.
Okay, we got 5 games left.
Yep.
I got a sneaky suspicion that my homeboy going to throw at least 16, 17 tugs.
Okay. Well, if he does, and he doesn't throw 6 or 8 more interceptions or lose fumbles that are returned for touchdowns, maybe you'll have a case. We'll see.
No, we're going to put a case of do on it. Let's go ahead and put a case of do right now. You say it's level playing field. I don't have an advantage. You don't have an advantage. Put a case of do on it right now.
Okay, you got it. One case.
Saw you coming.
Yeah. Okay.
You so gullible.
Huh?
You gullible.
I'm so gullible. Do you know how many cases I'm in position to win on the NFC East?
I'm going to get him back with the NFC East.
Are you?
Walk it to him.
Oh, well, he's walked out of the building.
No, it's not.
All right, guys.
Watch what he does to
James
Colt
Harrison
McCoy.
predicted a Saints blowout. He'll try to explain himself next.
No mercy.
Let's get back to that Cowboys upset last night over the Saints. Dak had a strong game, throwing a touchdown pass to Zeke in the first quarter, but the story of the game was the Dallas defense. They intercepted Drew Brees late in the fourth quarter to seal the game, and the Cowboys have now won 4 straight. And we are joined by FS1 NFL analyst James Harrison. Welcome back. Loving the shirt today. You are loud and proud. A little bit of explaining to do.
I don't know if he's that proud, but go ahead.
Just the shirt.
Always proud.
Distraction.
Well, see,
Distraction.
I'm very proud because I'm very impressed. Like I said, I'm impressed with your Cowboys today. Very impressed.
Okay.
Because I saw defense, and that's something that you haven't seen like this year altogether. I saw a very, very impressive defense. Vander Oos, whatever that is, he was playing like a madman.
He was.
They were shoring up tackles. Every pass was contested. Extremely, impressed by the defense. I think the best player on the Saints team was probably Gregory. Actually, he was a linebacker for Dallas. So, Dak went out there. He went 24 of 28, 250. He had a big third down
run
that he made with his legs. Like I said, I'm extremely impressed. But from here, you showed me that you can do this. Can you lead this on into next week and from that point forward, or do you have to have some sort of over the top?
Did they just play their Super Bowl last night?
No question. Is it going to be downhill from here?
Because they got up for the Saints because they know what the Saints represent. So can you get up now, Nick? And I believe, Skip, they'll get up again for the Eagles because the Eagles are a division rival.
I mean, how can you not get up?
Exactly, because you know what's at stake. But getting up for the Cards and getting up for the Giants. And
they never play at Indianapolis.
Right.
And not that Indy isn't hot right now.
Right.
But again, are you going to be sky high for that game?
For me, Skip, and I told you earlier, I was very surprised, but I'm more surprised with how they got to this. To hold the Saints to 10 points. To hold Drew Brees to 127 yards passing. For me, 49 plays, and the Cowboys ran 66 plays. Well, you run on average about 65 plays in an NFL game. So the Cowboys didn't do it as far as a play standpoint. I didn't really care about the number of plays that the Saints run because they normally make them count. Drew Brees doesn't need the ball a whole lot because we've seen him, Skip, go one play touchdown. Or they'll get a quick turnover, and I was expecting them to do this again. Turnover, and in 3 plays, they're in the end zone. So what impressed me is that the Cowboys were able to, once they arrived at a location, the guy didn't go any further.
Right.
What impressed me is that they made Drew Brees look very average. They made him look almost skittish and afraid at times. And we don't normally see that from our top-tier quarterbacks. What makes them special is that even when you get to them early, they still will stand in the pocket, know they're going to take that lick in the chops, and they'll still deliver the ball. That interception was a direct result of the pressure that he had faced.
All game. I agree.
There
it was
you
the
go.
Cumulative effect.
Right.
And he got a little panicky.
He's like, I don't want it.
Flat-footed because Malik Collins spun and came right in his face.
He's like, I don't want that hit.
He's like,
I don't want that.
Flip this sidearm.
He flipped the sidearm, Skip, and back it up out there and say, I don't want that hit anymore.
He didn't.
I don't want it. I've taken it one too many times. And so I still believe Sean Payton called a horrible game because I think he abandoned the run far too soon when he didn't really have to.
He's caught up in who he is and what they are.
You
What
are-
have they done? Every time he needed a big play, snap your fingers
Yes.
and the quarterback throws it to some guy you've never heard of for another touchdown.
And so,
that's how they played all year.
And so you didn't need to do that, Skip. And I think he panicked early. His offense panicked. They were never able to find a rhythm. I don't think Sean Payton found a rhythm in calling the game because once he saw he was behind, it was just like everything he wanted to throw, and then he'll sneak a run in here or there. 19, come on. Kamara Ingram deserved better. They're top 10 rushing team, and to have 19 attempts for 60 yards,
I know,
that's
but
not
they
really
were
good.
both going nowhere fast running the football.
Well, the thing is because, you know why? It's because the Dallas Cowboys kept you in a situation when they knew you were going to run. And so you can't do that. Look, give the Cowboys credit, but I was surprised. Like I said, they kick a walk-off field goal, Skip. That happens. But not this offense, 37, and you said they'd average in the last 4 games, averaging 44. They got 10. That was a hard 10. That was a hard 10. And if Randy Gregory didn't have his Saints jersey on up underneath the Cowboy jersey, they might have got nothing.
Lord have mercy. Was he not taken off the hook late in that game?
He was.
Would I not be just spewing and spilling all over Randy Gregory today if they had
Well,
lost
Eli
that
Apple,
game?
he was kind of helping Dallas.
Oh, man.
I mean,
he
come
rotten
on.
to the core.
Yeah.
He rotten, Skip.
So, I told both you guys yesterday I just had a feeling about this game. I was right about that. But if you had told me yesterday that the Cowboys would lose this turnover battle 2-1, and if you told me that my man Randy Gregory, good old number 94, would have a roughing, not a running into, a roughing the punter for 15 yards, and if you told me that Randy Gregory would then subsequently, a few plays later, line up off sides and negate a sack fumble of Drew Brees that the Cowboys recovered down at New Orleans' 20-yard line, negated, he lined up off sides. If you told me that was going to happen, and if you had told me that my man Ezekiel Elliott would need a 21-yard burst late in the game to get to a grand total of 76 yards rushing, the Saints can flat out play the run. I don't care. It's not just a strategy situation where you can't run because you're so far behind. They can just play the run.
It was very impressive last night, Skip, because it wasn't like the Cowboys was throwing the ball all over the field and they had a big lead.
All right. And if you told me yesterday that Dak Prescott would go down 7 times, 7 times, and finally, if you had told me yesterday that late in this game, 2:42 to go, that my man Dak Prescott would have 3rd and 5 from the 6-yard line and stand with the football like he is wont to do. And he holds the ball too long because he thinks he can get out of trouble because he's so big and strong. He's going to break a tackle and make a run. But he stood too long, and Cam Jordan just made a hellacious move up and under one of your moves, this patented James Harrison move, and just blew the play up, knocked the ball out of his hands. If you told me that was going to happen and Drew Brees would get the ball back with 2:40 left in the game, and I'm going to say it again, Drew Brees all-time ranks 3rd in game-winning drives with 45, and that's one ahead of Tom Brady. These are game-winning. He's clutch, man.
Oh, yeah.
And you give him the football back, I thought I was dead in the water. I'm saying, way to go, Shannon Sharpe, at that point. I thought you had it.
I was feeling good,
because I was feeling good just about get me to overtime, because they're going to get 3. I just hope they don't get 7, because if he gets 7, I lose, obviously. And he has plenty of time, and he completes a little dink and dunk pass for 5 on 1st down. And on 2nd down, we just talked about it, he threw the worst pass of his life. I'm pretty sure, under the circumstances, that was as shocking a Cowboy moment as I've ever experienced, because I didn't see that one coming. No. And it wasn't really about what my guys did, although Malik put pressure on him, but it was cumulative buildup, and he just gagged, man. And he threw a dying duck, just like it's wobbling to the left. And Jordan Lewis is just playing zone. It wasn't like he broke on the ball. He's just like, really?
Skip, you know what? Skip, for Dak to be as big and as strong as he is, he really has a weak grip. The ball comes out an awful lot when he's getting. If you notice that, Skip,
maybe his hands aren't that big
because
for his size.
Because it slipped out of his hand again The ball is starting to come out with greater regularity, Skip. You can't like that.
Tell you what, on that 3rd and 10, though, he ran like a madman.
Okay, but that's why he holds the ball too long. He won't just throw it away.
He broke about 2-3 tackles now.
I get you, but that's why he'll just stand and stand and stand. And I'm saying, just throw it away, because too many times when he has a chance just to throw it in the ground, he'll stand with it and take -8, -12.
Right.
Well, that's no good. Just throw it away.
Right.
Live to play another play, right?
Right.
Okay, so in this case, if you told me all that, I'd say, wow, they didn't really play that well last night. But in the first half, back to Dak Prescott, he led 3 long drives against a pretty good defense. That's what he does best. And if you want the numbers, he went 12 plays for 67 yards to start the game, field goal. He went 8 plays, 85 yards for a touchdown. That'll work. And then after that 4th and goal stand, they get it at the 1-yard line. He drives it 70 yards out of jail, down the field, and gets what became the winning field goal. This is all in the first half. So you got to give him that. He did hit 18 straight passes. You said yesterday he can't throw. And again, is he a great thrower? No.
Consistency and inaccuracy with us.
Okay, but last night he was.
He had one play where he hit the man while he was running down wide open. That would have sealed the game. He missed that one.
He hit him in the first quarter, right in the first drive for 40 yards, and he had the same. And Michael Gallup just smoked the corner. He just.
That was Eli Apple. That's not saying
that Eli
nothing. I think I can make. I think I can
he bit. He went and did the. That wasn't even a real double move. He just took off and.
And then you look at Eli Apple. He's like, well, who got that guy? You got that guy.
Did you see his face like that look of distress? Like, oh my God, it's nothing. No emotion on your face. You're not talking to anybody.
The best player for the Cowboys last night was Eli Apple.
So I'm going to say this one more time. I know Cowboy history. And against the odds they were up against last night, given the degree of difficulty, given the fact Drew Brees was coming into the game last night playing the greatest year of quarterback we've ever seen statistically, given the fact they were averaging 37 a game, which led the NFL, they had scored 48 on Philly and 43 on the other division rival, Washington. Given all that, I think that was the greatest defensive performance in Dallas Cowboy history. There have been greater defense, the Doomsday, Too Tall Jones, Randy White, Harvey Martin. That's
Single
greater.
Performance, greatest.
Okay? Just against the given the degree of difficulty, because most people thought they were just going to get blown off their home turf last night, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay? And given that to hold Drew Brees, think about this. He went 3 of 11 on 3rd down. 3 of 11.
But here's what should cause you concern. As great as your defense played and your offense, you only scored 13 points.
Okay.
And you were shut out in the second half.
Shut out.
So you can't be pleased with that, Skip.
I am not pleased. That's why Zeke said after the game, the crazy thing is we could play a lot better than we played tonight.
Can you? Can Dak play better than what he played,
Yeah.
Skip? He went 24-28. How much better can he be, Skip?
You won 28 or 28?
Who won this game?
You won.
You know
by
what?
3.
I didn't get much sleep, and I'm forgetting now.
After
wait, Dallas won the game.
176 yards
You're talking
total
like
by
they
the-
lost the game. You're starting to get your momentum back now, because you're starting to say, oh, you got this.
Okay.
I hope that you
We'll
think
see what
you
they do
got
in the
this,
next coming
because
weeks, and then we'll see.
This team,
I may have to come back earlier then for that.
This team is poised for takeoff.
Okay.
Yep.
Walk you to him. We're gonna put a damn blanket on that fire y'all got going.
Limp it to him, yeah.
Stop.
Yep.
As James says,
Your day
we'll have
coming.
to see in the coming
My
weeks.
day is coming. You keep saying
Thank
that
you
for
so
4
much
weeks.
for joining us.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it. Now, Shannon is usually a Dak hater, but will he finally show him a little respect?
Yeah, I wanna
We'll
see
discuss
about
that next. No mercy. Dak Prescott helped lead the Cowboys to a big 13-10 upset win against the Saints last night. He had some great moments with a touchdown pass to Ezekiel Elliott in the first quarter and a big run for a first down in the fourth. But he also fumbled twice, including late in the fourth quarter, that gave the Saints a chance to win. So, Shannon, what grade would you give Dak last night?
D, man. A D. You know he deserves a D, Skip.
So, wait,
A D?
A D.
are you serious?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
was waiting for the chuckle.
No.
You're
Look at
giving
it
him a
again.
D?
Yeah.
They won the game.
Okay.
They had the win.
In spite of him.
They won the.
In spite
it
of
was
him.
the win of the year in the National
In
Football
spite
League.
of him.
What?
Hold on. Alex, I could have swore you asked me. When did your name become Shannon?
I don't know. I'm just dumbfounded. I'm in a dream. I mean, I expected maybe a B.
Yeah, you
I
would
don't
have dream.
know.
Yeah, you could wake up, the Cowboys won. Yeah, it's a dream. It should have been a dream, because they should have
D?
lost. Skip, first of all, okay, look. The first half, he played really well. You mentioned the 3 long drives that gave them points. But Skip, what about the second half? He missed a huge throw that would have iced the game.
Mm-hmm.
He fumbled on the 6-yard line.
Yep.
4.9 yards per attempt. And the 7 sacks. A lot of those sacks was on Dak, Skip.
Mm-hmm.
The offensive line, they can't block forever. So, yes, he gets a D. And I know you're looking at, but look at it. He was 18 straight completions, which is a Cowboy record.
Well, it is.
He was 20. Skip, think about this. You remember last week, we said Marcus Mariota was 23 or 24 for 300 yards, and they lost by 17. Phillip Rivers just tied the record, most consecutive completions. Ryan Tannehill. If Ryan Tannehill has any record in the NFL, you don't want to be a part of it. So it just goes to show you how overrated or overinflated that can be. Skip, he didn't play well. You know that. Yes, they won the game, but he scored 0 points in the second half. He turned the ball over. He could have iced the game with a throw. A guy was wide open. He missed the throw by 5 yards. He fumbled on the 6-yard line going in to that would have capped the game. And what grade am I supposed to give him? Come on, Skip. This is a total body of work. See, you want to give him an 8 because they won. No. You don't get an 8 for just showing up. You don't get an 8 for my class. You're going to do some work in here. If you think you're going to show up, dress nice, and get a good grade, that ain't happening. I want performance. And I don't think he performed that well last night. That's just me personally. I do advanced. I got an advanced class. I got an AP class. Yeah. Advanced placement, that was AP.
Well, I'm going to give your assessment of Dak Prescott last night a D as in dumb. It's just dumb. Because it is fueled by straight Cowboy hate, as was the grade that you gave Dak last year when he finished 4th in the league in QBR. You gave him an F for the year.
Was he the
really?
was he the fourth best quarterback?
And somehow they went 9-7 last year, despite all the injuries to Sean Lee and Ty Smith and the collapse of.
Well,
Des
if he's that
Bryant.
guy, he got to. If he's that guy.
So I'm going to be objective here, Alex. Somebody has to be sitting at this desk, and I'm going to give my man Dak Prescott a B+. I'm not going to give him an A- because he probably deserves an A-, but I'm going to go B+. He did a few really bad things, and he did a whole lot of really good things, because what you fail to notice is this is the warrior winner who drives this offense. The spirit of the offense, the driving force of the offense is not Zeke, it's Dak. The whole team is fueled by Dak. They look to him, to his body language, to his emotion. He's going to do it a little unconventionally because he's going to have to make a few plays with his legs. He's going to have to scramble. They're going to have to call the quarterback draw for him, which they did at one point, and he went for 15 yards. And you have to live with the fact that he's not a great thrower. He's just a good enough thrower. Why do I got to live with that? Well, I mean, I've never said he was Aaron Rodgers, or if I can go a whole level higher, Tom Brady.
No, you can't go a level higher.
Yeah, a whole level higher. And again, I'll repeat, the issue I have with him this year that he did not have last year or the year before is he just holds the ball too long. But he hadn't been turning the ball over. He'd gone 3 straight games with no turnovers.
So did he hold the ball too long last night?
Yes, he did.
But you gave him a B+. Did he turn the ball? Did he do something last night that he hadn't done in the previous 3 games? But you give him a B+.
I give him a B+ because he made all the key plays that had to be made to win the game.
What about the overthrow?
What score? Well, again, okay, I'll give you the overthrow. And
Okay.
I told you that was just a bad. At least he stepped into it with conviction. And again, I would much rather see it be an overthrow than an underthrow.
So what if I take
underthrow is a choke.
So let me
get pull the string.
So let me get this right. Now I can no-show and not take the test and fail, or I can show up and fail. Is one any better than the other? You talk about when he stepped into the throw, but he overthrew him. Okay, what we gonna do about that fumble on the 6-yard line?
Okay, I don't like it, but that was the one other huge mistake. But when they got the ball back, thank you, Drew Brees, for that. When they got the ball back, the game had to be iced by what play? What had to happen? They threw it into the end zone to Amari Cooper. Was that not a good throw on what became a pass interference?
It was gonna be out of bounds.
It was not. It was catchable. He got a hand on it.
Oh,
if Marshawn Lattimore hadn't grabbed his inside arm, that would have been caught on the back line of the end zone for a touchdown. And we'd be having a whole different look at it, hit his right hand. Overthrow? Are you kidding me? It was a beautiful throw.
Skip, stop.
That's clutch.
Skip, stop.
That's That's
Stop.
B+.
Skip.
That capped it. Did that not ice the game?
Skip, there was no.
Yes.
Because you know why? Because there was no ramifications if it wasn't because the clock was going to stop anyway inside the 2-minute warning.
You got to do something, or Drew Brees is going to get the ball back.
Skip. They had burned their timeout. You throw the ball, the clock is going to stop inside of 2 minutes anyway.
Okay, but if you give him the ball back, he's going to go down and score and beat you.
And did he? He had the ball before that. How did Dak get the ball back if he was going to do it?
That was clutch. He makes a lot of big clutch throws.
Skip. Now, you just said, hold on. I'm going to make sure I'm hearing you right. You gave him a B+.
I did.
But you said he held the ball too long.
Well, I'm just being objective about it.
Okay. He fumbled the ball.
That's why I didn't give him an A.
Hold on, Skip. Hold on. He fumbled the ball on the 6-yard line.
Yep.
He missed a throw that would have iced the game.
A lot of quarterbacks miss one throw.
No. We're not grading those.
Okay.
We're grading Dak Prescott.
A D? So, help me out here. What was the final score? It was 13-10.
Yes.
Who scored 13 points? Well, Dak's offense scored 13 points. And why did they score 13 points? Because he drove them in the first half. 12 plays, 67 yards.
Whoa.
8 plays, 85 yards. And then backed up at the 1-yard line, he goes 70 yards in 16 plays. And that's your total. Those are your 13 points because he drove them. Wait a second. Who went 7 of 14 on third down? Dallas did, while Drew Brees went 3 of 11. 7 of 14. That's all by the doing of Dak Prescott. Thank you very much.
Skip Bayless, I know. Alex, I know. I've been knowing this man here. I've been knowing this man like 5 years. Now, the Skip Bayless, I know. He loves a guy that performs in the second half of ball games. The Dak that you love scored 0 points in the second half, but you give him a B+.
Did he come to your restaurant last night?
No, I
You
closed
wouldn't let him in.
I closed.
You closed early because you were sick?
I thought
you had heartburn?
No, what happened was, but I did do Grubhub. I sent KD one of them old hot L's.
Did you?
I sent on KD one of them hot L's, courtesy of my guy, old Kawhi.
We'll talk about
and
that.
And the big dinosaurs.
Yep. So, listen, you cannot underestimate what it does for the football team when it's 3rd and 10 and he spins out of a sack and he runs over this guy and he runs through that guy and he powers through the final guy and leaps over the line for the first down for 11 yards.
And you
know what that does for the football team? It just powers the football team.
And guess what?
He jumps up and throws his fist and the whole offense says, we got this. That's our leader.
Alex, you can't imagine what it does to a football team when you see the quarterback overthrow a wide open receiver that would have iced the game, and then he comes back 2 plays later and he fumbles the ball on the 6-yard line. Do you know what that does to a team? Do you know how deflating that is? You like, come on, Dak.
What'd you think of that throw to Amari Cooper on the back line? Beautiful throw, wasn't it? Iced the game.
Skip.
Who won?
Skip.
Dallas won.
Dallas won. But
Way to
here's
go.
the thing, Skip. There was no repercussions if you throw that pass and it's incomplete because the clock is going to stop anyway.
I don't care about that. It's clutch. It's game ending. It would have been a touchdown. If Marshawn Lattimore doesn't grab his inside hand, he's going to catch it.
Skip.
He catches everything else.
If Sean Payton doesn't burn that time out.
If. That was the game ender. That iced it. They kneeled out the game.
Oh, my goodness.
Because
really?
of that throw.
I want you to remember you
That's
said that.
That's a B+ throw right there.
I want you to remember you said that.
I
Skip,
did. So, guess what? Dak Prescott, the man who cannot throw, according to this man and according to our man James Harrison, cannot throw. He's inaccurate. He's just kind of a washed-up bust of a quarterback. He went 24 of 28 last night for 248. By his standards, that's a pretty good night.
Right.
You always tell me he can't even throw for 200.
Skip.
So 248 through a touchdown pass. And by the way, may I throw this on top of it?
Yes, you can.
Did you see the 2 screen passes that went for 15 and 15 to Ezekiel Elliott, the second for a touchdown? Were they not beautifully thrown touch passes right on time?
Skip.
Do you know how hard those plays are to execute like that? With the timing and the touch, he just dropped it right into his breadbasket so that he could run. They were really well done. Both plays beautifully done.
Alex just told me in the break that she threw 2 touchdowns in the Turkey Bowl.
Really?
Yeah, family Turkey Bowl. Alex said she threw 2 tubs.
Yeah, and you probably gave her an F for that.
No.
Right?
Skip, you need to stop with this. You need to stop, Skip. I mean, come on, be fair about this, Skip.
I'm being very fair. He played great last
Skip,
night.
let me ask you a question. I mean, you heaping the hard. Ryan Tannehill, can he throw?
I don't care about Ryan Tannehill. I care about this team poised for takeoff. I care about what Jerry Jones said 3 weeks ago about Dak Prescott after they lost. Well, let's go all the way back 5 weeks ago. After they lost at Washington, when he threw for 120 yards just in the fourth quarter alone, after he committed
which is 7 fewer yards than what Drew Brees had all last night.
All right. So the point is, after that game, Jerry Jones stood in the visitors' locker room and he said, "I can win a lot of games with that quarterback."
What was he supposed to say? Dak's a bum?
Well, if he gets down on you, he'll say you're a bum.
No, he ain't
and
gonna say that about
run
the
you out
quarterback.
the back door.
No, he ain't gonna run him out. No.
This team can win a lot of games with this young man at quarterback. He's the leader of this team.
The man
I like
held
the
up.
way he handles himself. I like the way he empowers this whole team. Everybody feeds off him.
Skip Bayless just gave a B+. Had 2 fumbles, one on the 6-yard line going in to ice the game. He missed a throw that would have iced the game.
He lost
one
fumble. He lost 1 fumble.
Skip.
You said he had 2 fumbles.
Did he not fumble twice?
Yeah, but he recovered
Skip,
for
hold
a
on.
field goal. Thank you.
So am I correct or am I factually incorrect when I say Dak Prescott fumbled the ball twice?
Well, there are fumbles all over. I can look at all the fumbles from New Orleans, and how lucky were they? They fumbled 7 times and only lost 1.
Okay.
Wow.
So they fumbled 7 times.
Yeah.
So if you say they were the New Orleans Saints, I didn't say he lost but he didn't lose all 2 of them. He fumbled twice.
Okay.
He lost 1. But Skip Bayless gave the man a B+, who fumbled twice, held onto the ball, and got sacked numerous times. One of the fumbles could have cost him the game. An overthrow could have iced the game, and you still gave him a B+.
He's playing head-to-head with the MVP frontrunner on Thursday Night Football, live nationally on Fox. And he put those numbers up, that's a B+. I'm sorry. There's too much great that overcomes the bad. There's a little bad and a lot of great.
So
B+.
So let me get it straight.
Case closed.
When he stunk it up on that Monday night against that team, so he didn't know he was playing on national televised game, huh?
Well, they all stunk it up.
Well, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about
Are we
him.
grading that game? What did I give him for that game? I probably gave him a D for that game.
No, you gave him a B.
I did.
Yeah, you did. You gave him a B. Because you always give him a passing grade. You
gave
just
the
want him
whole
to show
team
up.
an F that
Teacher's
day.
pet.
Yeah.
That's what Dak is, a teacher's pet.
You know,
And
it's
you
always
teach him.
darkest before the dawn, isn't it? And it was dark that
day
morning,
coming.
right?
Your day coming.
I think your day is come and come and come.
A week
and
from
it's gonna
Monday.
Come again and
A
again
week
and
from
again.
Monday.
Yeah.
A week from Monday.
Okay, I'll be here.
Yeah, you will.
You?
I want you to make sure you be. I want you to make sure you're here.
Yeah.
But your day
Time
coming,
will
Skip.
tell, but we are switching gears. Magic Johnson said he doesn't want to turn the Lakers into the Cavs. What does he mean by that? We'll discuss that next.
No mercy.
Now, LeBron outscored the Pacers by himself in the final 5 minutes of last night's Lakers win. He finished with 38 points in 38 minutes. Overall, LeBron's minutes are down from his previous 2 seasons in Cleveland, and Magic Johnson was asked about not over-rushing the King. Take a listen.
With LeBron in his 16th year, is it a directive as well to just preserve him as long as possible and not overuse him?
We got a lot of ball handlers, so we feel that we won't overuse him in terms of his ball handling, and also every play has to run through him. So I think we got proven scorers. We don't have to have LeBron using the ball, having the ball in his hands all the time. We're trying to make sure that we watch his minutes, but also that we don't run everything through him, because now it is Cleveland all over again, and we don't want that.
We are joined by FS1 NBA analyst Chris Broussard. Chris, how would you interpret Magic's comments?
I think Magic Johnson let you in on his conversation with LeBron the first night of free agency. When he went over to LeBron's house and they talked basketball for 3 hours or whatever it was. LeBron and Magic, I think they strategized. And LeBron is on board with this. The way we tried to beat Golden State in Cleveland, those last 2 years, we talked about it many times, they tried to outshoot them. They shot more threes than Golden State last year during the regular season. So I think when Magic says we don't want that Cleveland team, that's what he really means. You can't outshoot Golden State from 3. They got 3 of the best, probably 5 shooters of all time. You're not going to outshoot them. So he and LeBron sat down, strategized, okay, how do you beat Golden State? 1, let's look at what Houston did to take them to 7. Some tough, versatile defenders that can switch everything. So they go out and they get some veterans, and they think they got young guys that are long, and you got a rim protector in JaVale McGee. Now you add Tyson Chandler. That's what we do defensively. Offensively, we need playmakers. Cleveland, it was LeBron. I'm the playmaker. I got shooters all around me. Even with Kyrie. Kyrie's a playmaker for himself.
Right.
But not, and we see that in Boston right now.
Right. You're
not
right.
really for other teammates. So LeBron says, look, I want other playmakers. Lance Stevenson, Rajon Rondo. You think Ball and Ingram, might be playmakers too. So we have other playmakers. So going along with that, what has to happen? If you have more playmakers, LeBron's off the ball more.
Right.
And I think LeBron is with that mentally and theoretically. Because I've been told, Philadelphia, when they looked at them, LeBron will play off the ball with Ben Simmons. We heard LeBron talk about coming here. He'll be off the ball, and he is off the ball more. Here's the problem. Number one, LeBron's not that great off the ball because he's not used to doing it.
Right.
He's not cutting. He's not screening. He'll stand at the elbow, get it, maybe throw some great passes here and there, but that's just not who he is. Okay, so the team ends up not being as good when LeBron's off the ball. Cleveland, they tried it. I talked to Mike Brown about this. He was like, we tried to run the flex offense with LeBron, and the problem was with 4 seconds left on the shot clock, Anderson Varejao or somebody would have the ball and LeBron be on the other side of the court, and we're stuck. So they ended up becoming LeBron-centric. Miami tried it the first year. They didn't want to just give the ball to LeBron because you had D-Wade.
Right.
And so they were switching, and LeBron's off the ball, and they weren't as good. Second year, D-Wade says, look, just give the ball to LeBron. It's his team. The rest is history. So that's what you see with these Lakers. LeBron's, theoretically and mentally, I'll get off the ball, but his instincts, when things don't go well, when we're losing, when other guys aren't making plays, let me go get the ball. And last night was a case in point. Fourth quarter, he goes and gets the ball and outscores them 12-8 down the stretch. So that's really, I think that is what Magic was talking about. I think LeBron is with that mentally, but his instincts are give me the ball. The thing is this, LeBron doesn't want the ball all the time. He wants it about 70% of the time, 60% of the time. So that can throw your team in flux because sometimes he's on the ball, sometimes he's off the ball, and the other players have to adjust.
Go ahead, Scott.
So I'm interpreting Magic's comment about Cleveland all over again differently than you are, because what happened in Cleveland wasn't all bad because they just kept getting to the finals every year.
And got one.
Okay? And they got one.
And kept going to go get the Warriors.
Okay? And it's not like when LeBron came to Los Angeles, he joined the Warriors.
Right.
That's how Magic's talking, like we're the Warriors now, like we're playing from a position of strength. No, you're not. You got a bunch of kids who are all trying to figure it out, and I like all of them, but I can't love any of them yet because they just haven't quite got over the hump.
Right.
And they got a bunch of cast-offs that are all trying. JaVale's been shockingly great. I think Tyson Chandler's brought real anchor stability to the defense, and we can keep going. Lance gives you a little of this and a little of that and a little bad and a little good, but the point is they're not the Warriors. They don't have a second star, clear cut. So I'm going to say it one more time, and I'm sure Magic gets this. And I get reducing the minutes. You got to limit the minutes. Right. He's in his 16th season. He just played back-to-back years in which he led the NBA in minutes. That's nutty to me. That's like basketball suicide to me. Why would you let him do it? He's too good to waste him like that. You don't need to play that many minutes.
Right.
But I'm going to say it one more time. He was born to play the point, or to whatever you want to call that position. He's born to have the ball in his hands as a facilitator and a scorer. And everything looks better to me when he initiates it. It doesn't mean he has to take the shot. It just means he has to position everybody where he wants them and take the ball to the side that he thinks it should start on and make it all start to go off where he initiates it. That's just who he is and what he does. That's what he did for Cleveland last year. And I got to tell you, it was pretty great.
Right.
And again, I don't want to dwell on spilled milk, but they had Golden State in game one, and you say, well, they still would have won one game. I don't know, but I saw them be in position to win game one of the NBA Finals in Oakland.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Houston had Golden State down 2-1.
Okay. And why were they in that position that night? LeBron was all-time great. Yeah. What did he score at that point? But at that point, he had 49 at that point.
Regulation.
And he was making outside shots, and he was distributing, and it was cooking, man. even with that roster.
But the thing, what he did in that situation is that he controlled tempo. And that's what LeBron tried to do in the finals.
Okay, can he not do that better than anybody?
You're right, he can.
Okay, but Magic also made the other point in this interview. We don't really want him controlling tempo. We need to get out and fly and run, right?
That's really not LeBron's game. Because playing that fast.
But they don't have shooters. I mean, you get not shoot. But Magic is acting like Brandon Ingram and Kuzma has proven they're true number two.
I agree.
Here's the thing. Can Kuzma score? Yeah. Can Brandon Ingram score? Yeah. But who can they initiate offense for? So now you take the ball out of LeBron's hand with no Rondo. Now what you going to do?
If you give them the ball in the half court, they're just going to go solo.
Exactly.
But here's the thing. If the ball is in LeBron's hands and there aren't shooters around him, now the lane is clogged up.
Right.
So, like I said, I believe wholeheartedly this is the conversation. Like, where I disagree with you guys is I don't think Magic's saying anything like is shocking to LeBron.
No.
I think LeBron felt the same way as what Magic's saying right now. They built this team to not go through LeBron. But now that we're seeing, well, that's what they're going to be best at is going through LeBron. You don't have the shooters. You're not going to have the floor space now. So they're kind of in a quandary.
Well, they can space the floor. They just can't hit shots. I mean, Brandon Ingram is launching air balls. Lonzo's launching air balls. And that's the question is LeBron's like, okay, I understand, Magic. I don't want the ball in my hands. Look at the third quarter. They were down at one point in time. They're down 24 points. Indiana, minus their best player, comes all the way back to take a 3-point lead. Everybody wants the ball. Brandon Ingram steady bringing it up, steady launching air balls. Then all of a sudden he says, you know what? I can't do it. LeBron, you take it.
Right.
He gets control of the game. They go up by 8, and then he takes the game completely over in the fourth quarter. The thing is, Ingram can score. Kuzma can score. But who can they get? They can't get no one else involved.
And the odd man out in the whole equation is Lonzo, because he's trying to play off guard with LeBron, and it's really not his forte. No. He's doing the best he can.
But he plays hard, Skip. I mean, I watched him last. He's trying to play defense in the shot, and you could tell he was getting more frustrated by the fact because he's getting wide open threes, Skip. I mean, nobody was in 2 feet of him, and the ball just wouldn't go in for him. He's like, dang.
All right, so pretty soon Rondo's going to come back, and then we're going to see the tail of the tape here, because all of a sudden, is Rondo going to go back to playing 35 minutes a game as the true point guard? Is LeBron going to play off Rondo more? Is he going to be happy with that?
I think there's going to be some of that. Okay. I think LeBron understands he can't be a one-man system. A one-man system, no matter how good you are. No. Michael Jordan, first 5 years in the league, was a one-man system. And he was great. They kept getting beat in the playoffs. Phil Jackson
puts him in a different one-man system because it was a one-man scorer.
Yeah.
Michael wasn't facilitating.
No. He was scoring. Yeah. And Jackson puts him in the system. LeBron is so good that he can be a one-man system. That's why he can make any team really good. He can take the 4 of us and win 35 games in the NBA. But that one, I don't care how good, no matter how good the one player is, he is not consistently going to beat 5 guys that are skilled, that can shoot, that play as a team.
Right.
That's why San Antonio and the Warriors have given LeBron the most problems in his career. So that's always the challenge you have. He's so great, he can do everything. He's a system. You got Princeton, you got the flex, you got the triangle, you got motion, you got the LeBron.
Yep.
And everybody has to fit in that, and that's going to make you really good. But
until you face somebody that has a system and 4 or 5 guys that move the ball.
But I will say this: of all my years watching the NBA, the 3 straight greatest games I ever saw one player play was when LeBron lost Kyrie in Game 1 and didn't have Kevin Love at the finals against Golden State the first time.
They went up 2-1.
Yeah, and he played 3 of the greatest games, seriously, and it took a toll on him because he came up empty in Game 4 at home. But I'm just saying, you want to talk about...
They played slow. He controlled the tempo. They played real slow.
You want to talk about a one-man show?
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, I mean,
it was. Seriously.
He's playing 43, 44 minutes, and then they went to overtime, and then he had to play 50.
And guess who made some big plays for him? Little Deli made plays, right? He did.
And Magic is acting like he got a Steph Curry to ride shotgun.
Yeah.
Well, this
Nope.
year is an experiment.
Yeah, LeBron and the Lakers knew it was going to be a process. As you said, this is the year.
Hey, we could do well with
Yeah, LeBron said
Yeah.
2
Ball
weeks ago.
hog Alex.
Yeah, but LeBron said 2 weeks ago that he almost cracked. Well, you're cracking over what?
Cause
Huh?
we didn't come down there to
What?
shoot movies. We didn't come down there to shoot movies. We came to win a championship.
There you go. Chris, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Now, did the Cowboys clinch the NFC East last night? We'll discuss that next.
No mercy.
Now, the Cowboys are alone at the top of the NFC East after last night's win. Dallas has won 4 straight to get to 7-5. The Redskins and Eagles are right behind the Cowboys, and they'll play each other on Monday night. And the Cowboys host the Eagles next week. So, Shannon, how will this all play out?
Love it when playing comes together.
Yeah.
Although I thought it would crystallize itself a lot sooner than what it actually has.
Huh.
But when the plan is
Wait, you're not conceding?
no.
Huh.
But when the plan is in place, progress must progress.
Really?
Yeah.
And the plan is what?
Next Monday
Finish
night.
third?
A week from Monday night,
Yeah.
when we go into Jerry's world.
It's Sunday, I think.
It's a Sunday night
Yeah,
game?
I
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
When the Eagles leave Jerry
Yeah.
World after that game, we will be in first place in the NFC East.
Huh.
We, us, Eagles, fly.
Huh.
That's what I'm going. That's what I'm saying. The Eagles will win the NFC East. I told you Washington was done once check down Alex went out.
Really?
And now they got Colt in there.
Yeah.
Eagles will take care of business on Sunday, put us 1 game behind,
Yeah.
and when we get to Dallas, we're
Yeah.
going to win that game in convincing fashion, and we'll lead the division.
Really?
Yes. So
Huh.
the Eagles will win the NFC East.
So you're not giving up or giving in?
Why would I do that? Walking to him would not let me give up.
Who is in commanding position as we speak?
That's what makes it even
My
better.
team.
See, Skip, there's nothing better than you seeming like you have an insurmountable lead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. So what did I tell you yesterday? I told you that even if my Cowboys lose to the Saints, they're still going to win the NFC East because they'd still be in the driver's seat even if they lost last
Guess what? You beat the Saints, and you still not, and you in the catbird seat right now, but you got the players.
I wish somebody would explain to me what catbird is, 'cause
Yeah.
I don't know a catbird.
You sitting pretty.
You ever seen a catbird
Yeah, I have.
before? Have you?
Yeah.
It must
And
be a weird-looking creature.
And you in that seat.
Yeah.
You sitting pretty.
Yeah.
You all that chuckling. You rolling your windows
Well,
down
I
looking.
told you, last night was my gravy game. It was just icing on a baking cake.
No.
And now it's got icing.
No, but Skip, that's what makes it, this is what's going to make it hurt so bad. It's because you won last night.
Really?
You did what you did to the Saints. And now when they come in your building and put foots in you.
But you told me that was going to happen last night, that I was going to get my comeuppance last night, and I was going to have to come in here and eat crow because Zeke didn't do
You know
enough
what's Skip?
eating, right?
Although I would have loved to have seen you lost that game.
Yeah.
There's nothing like a division rival beating you. Because see, you're going to be favored in that game. You're going to be sitting pretty, and because you really hate the Eagles because you say they front run and they've been the doorstop for the NFC East for the longest time. They're the only team that doesn't have at least 3 Super Bowls, and so you treated them bad, and you dislike the Eagles. There's nothing.
I hate the Eagles, to be honest.
So there's nothing that's going to bring me more joy, more pleasure, and happiness is that when walk it to him, do what he do.
Well, what did Dallas do to walk it to him in Philadelphia?
Y'all won.
Yeah.
That kind of jumped y'all off, got y'all going.
Yeah? Interesting. So, is there some danger because Jerry basically said last night was their Super Bowl, and then there was even more danger after the game when Jerry basically said, "This is it. We're different cats now. We've arrived. You can just look in the mirror and know that everything has changed." Is there danger there that you'll just fall flat on your face because you'll start getting actually overconfident when you don't deserve or merit getting overconfident? Yeah, that's possibly so. So, there are still other games to be played by the other 2 division rivals. And the irony of this whole conversation is, guess who I'm rooting for this coming Sunday?
You were rooting for Washington.
I'm rooting for the Eagles. I need the Eagles to level the playing field between them and Washington because just me, I'm telling you the truth. I've told you all year. The team I fear the most in the East is Washington, not Philadelphia. Not Philadelphia.
Y'all done with them. Y'all don't play Washington anymore.
You are sleeping on Colt McCoy. he will play well enough to win some of these games down the stretch. I fear the Redskins coming back to catch the Cowboys more than the Eagles. But the irony is I need the Eagles to beat the Redskins the first time around, which is this coming Monday, because that would make them both 6-6. I don't need if Washington wins this game, you better look out because the Redskins are going to be coming for the Cowboys. Obviously, they split their games, and then it would come down to division wins, and it gets very complicated. But the point is, if I look at the Cowboys schedule, what do I think is going to happen? Well, I think they're going to beat the Eagles. I've told you that from the start. Then the tricky game is the one at Indy, which
you're losing two possible 3 games.
I said all year, we got that one in Indianapolis because they start off 0-3, and now they don't look like an 0-3 team anymore because
Giants going to beat you
on
up
a roll.
too.
You really think so?
Yep.
Well, you're hoping so. Now you're just wishing and hoping. You're delusional. My team will win at least 3 of the last 4, if not 4 of the last 4. It's very possible that last night.
So you say you're going to win out? Or you say you're going to win out?
Every year, you just see some team come out of nowhere off a disaster game like the debacle that was Monday night against Tennessee and just catch fire. And it happens right before your very eyes. It all just falls in place, and they take off right on schedule for December. And have a December.
Are you guys going to win out?
I think we got a good chance of winning out, but I'll say conservatively 3-1. Well, that would get us to 10-6. That would be good enough to win the division because the Eagles still have to play, as we know, at Dallas, but then at the Rams. Win. Oh, you're going to go beat the Rams?
No, we're going to lose 1 game.
Oh,
we're going to be tied.
Huh? So you're going to beat the Texans at home? That's no gimme.
Yep.
Huh?
Yep.
Really?
They beat y'all.
Huh? Yeah, in overtime.
So?
We battled them to the bitter end.
Battled nothing.
And then,
did you battle Tennessee?
No, not. We had them down. We could have been ahead 21-0 in that game.
What about the Eagles? The Eagles were up 17.
So, and then the Eagles finish at Colt McCoy, and you just giving them that game? Because I am not.
I am.
I am not giving them that game. And look at the Redskins. It could not be. Look, they got the Giants. They go to Jacksonville. I used to think that was a hard game. Now it's an easy game. And then at Tennessee, Tennessee had its blips, and now it seems to have fired and fallen back, right? Yeah. Could they go win the Redskins at Tennessee? Sure they could. And then they'll definitely beat the Eagles.
No.
So could they win out?
Oh, definitely go beat the Eagles.
Yeah, definitely at home. They'll beat the Eagles to close it out.
Okay.
Yeah. So
you see
I just explained to you why I need the Eagles to win this game against the Redskins.
You puffing your feathers out now. You just plume just as pretty. I mean, you just
I don't have feathers. The Eagles have feathers.
You got all this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're going to beat, the Redskins going to beat them.
Cry, Eagles, cry. That's all. And for Shannon, it's going to be sigh, Eagles, sigh.
Your day coming.
Yeah.
It's all going to be great games to watch down the stretch here, but that one, Cowboys,
Your day coming,
Eagles,
Skip Bayless.
Mark that on your calendar.
My day was last night.
No,
I got it.
No. Next Sunday night. Next Sunday, whenever they play the Eagles.
Yeah.
Sunday afternoon on Fox. Sunday afternoon on Fox. So mark that on your calendar, guys.
I ain't watching. I can't watch.
You know it's going to be
Every time I watch the Cowboys,
now,
last
are the
4 weeks,
Raptors
they
now
win.
the team to beat in the NBA? We'll discuss that next.
No mercy.
Now, the Raptors hosted the Warriors in a marquee matchup last night. Kawhi Leonard led the way with 37 points, and the Raptors won in overtime. Kevin Durant scored 51, including 2 3-pointers in the final minute to bring the Warriors back, but it was not enough. Shannon, what was your takeaway from last night's game?
That's old school basketball, Skip. You got to go back to the 61-62 Lakers to have 3 guys on the same team to get 50 in the same season. And that's what Klay, Steph, and KD has done this year. Now, Steph didn't play last night, so considering that he was leading the league in scoring before he left, it's hard for me to imagine that Toronto would have won this game had they had Steph. But, Skip, some of the shots that Kevin Durant was hitting, I believe Kawhi Leonard is the best on-ball defender in all of basketball. And Kevin Durant went and got 51. He's playing anybody else, he's probably going to get 60, 65, maybe even 70. That's how good he was last night. But Kawhi, like, hold on, wait a minute now. Just because I play defense, don't think I can. Ooh, Skip, that hurt. This hurt to see old Kawhi doing this. That hurt.
I did not watch this.
Why would you not watch?
I think there was another bigger, better game on.
Oh, you only got one TV? So Samsung only made one TV. Skip got one TV. He got 8,000 square feet, ladies and gentlemen. And Skip Bayless got one TV in his house.
Dallas Cowboys are playing, I watch only the Dallas Cowboys.
One TV.
So this was the greatest game I never saw.
Don't worry about it. But let me tell you what old Kawhi was doing. Boy, showed up. Look at him break. Head up that.
Oh, wait a second. Number 2 decided to play last last night?
Oh, did he ever.
He showed up and
boy,
played?
Did he ever.
I'm shocked.
Giving it to him.
Usually he just doesn't feel like playing.
38. Stop doing that.
Well, he just
That's so unbecoming.
Did he
of you.
play against the King here in LA?
No, he didn't.
Why is that?
Right now, he doesn't feel comfortable
Had
playing
a thigh
back.
bruise? Must have.
You know
Doesn't
what?
play back to back?
He doesn't play back to
Are you
back.
kidding me?
Not right yet. Not yet.
So,
But
so you make $22 million.
Why you counting that man's pockets?
I'm not counting. It's public.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
public. We don't need to know that.
Yeah.
But you need to know he scored 38 last night, had 8 rebounds, 3 assists.
Did he?
And he been playing. Still playing lights out defense. But Kevin
Looks
Durant
to
was.
me like he got torched. 51?
But you know what?
Hey, are you making the case that Kevin Durant is the best player on the planet?
No,
'Cause
no.
that case got made last night.
Hold on. Haven't we seen LeBron get 51?
Not like that.
LeBron got 51.
Wait. 7 of 11? No, wait, 4 of 7. I'm sorry, 4 of 7.
Yeah. Don't look.
Went over too far.
Hold on. LeBron James got 50.
You know what? I did see the highlights this morning, and I saw Kevin Durant make 2 of the cold-bloodedest threes I've ever seen on a really good on-ball defender in the last minute of regulation.
Yeah.
You see those 2?
Who's the on-ball defender?
Cold-blooded.
Who's the on-ball defender?
I don't know. He's number 2. Where's number 2?
Hold on. Didn't we see
he's
LeBron
number
James go
2
get
to me.
51 on 19 shots?
At Miami?
At 19.
At Miami?
What are they?
Wait, is Toronto the best team in the East? I think they are.
Hold on.
Right?
You told me, now, Iguodala, and you say Igor, he's a historian. Now, he knows basketball. KD, he can hit you with the pull-up hezzy, and he can get you 50 on 19. No. LeBron James went and got 51 on 19 shots. Has Kevin Durant ever
Would
done
you
that?
believe Kevin Durant made 11 or 12 free throws last night? Does that sound like somebody you know, not named LeBron?
Yeah, LeBron James in his performance made 13 or 15.
Oh, did he
Oh,
really?
yeah!
What's he shooting for the season now?
I don't know. We're not talking about all that.
Oh.
What we thought. Why you keep bringing LeBron into this?
I think he's down to 71% for the season.
We're talking about what the question was. If I'm not mistaken, Alex asked me, Shannon, what was your takeaway from the game last night? The Raptors are very good.
Yeah,
the big dinosaurs.
Yep.
Yeah, they're not baby anymore. They got Kawhi.
Yep.
And you know, Pop watching this, Pop like, that God, going Kevin Durant. I could have Kawhi.
He doesn't care anymore.
Yes, he does.
He doesn't.
Would you rather have Kawhi or DeMar DeRozan?
DeMar DeRozan. He plays.
Not as
He
well,
doesn't sit. He
not
plays.
as well as Kawhi.
And you know what? He closes. He's clutch.
Who closed that thing last night? Kawhi?
I don't know.
Because he picked Kevin Durant.
So all you need to know, is it my turn, Alex? Because it's my turn for the takeaway. All you need to know about how handicapped the Warriors were last night, guess who took by far the most shots for the Golden State Warriors in overtime last night?
Who?
It wasn't Kevin Durant. It wasn't Klay Thompson, because after the game, Steve Kerr said, we kind of hit the wall physically where we just ran out of gas. Jonas Jerebko took 4 shots in overtime, played all 5 minutes, and that's 3 more shots than Kevin Durant took. He took 1 shot and made 1 shot. Klay took took 1 shot and missed that. Jonas Jerebko took 4 shots and made 2. It came down to that. The Warriors were down to Jonas Jerebko in overtime, making 2 of 4 shots. Really?
You had no problem
That's what
with
you
LeBron.
got? You know
You had
why?
no LeBron.
Because there was no Steph and there was no Draymond. So how much stock can we put in this? All I know is that Kevin Durant looked like the best player on the planet because he was going 1-on-5 the whole night. And that's Siakam. Hey, this team is loaded, this Toronto team.
First of all, Skip.
Siakam's becoming a star.
You saw LeBron do that last year and get a team to the finals.
Huh.
Won 1-on-5.
Yeah.
You didn't make that case for LeBron. But now you want to make it for Kevin Durant because he scored 51?
Yeah.
After LeBron has scored 51 already and got a 44 night?
Help me out. Who's the better shooter, Kevin Durant or LeBron James?
Who's the better player?
Not even close.
Who's the better player?
Well, I mean, I just raised a joke question, right?
Yeah.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
Because Kevin Durant can shoot 7 feet tall. Have we ever seen anybody that tall shoot it that well?
We have not.
We have
okay,
not.
Dirk, maybe.
Thank you. No, not like this.
Yeah.
Not this deep.
Dirk is the 6th leading scorer all time, so he's doing something right. But that's neither here nor there. We're not talking about that. Alex asked me what was my takeaway from last night.
Cold-blooded. We're talking about assassin.
And Kevin Durant called me and said he needed something hot and tasty. So I sent him a hot ale, courtesy of Kawhi. Yeah. So that's what I did. I was able to get that to him just in time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Siakam had 26. Serge had 20.
It's not easy because it's hard getting into Canada. I ain't have my passport updated.
Really?
But I got it to him, that hot ale.
Well, he'll always be number 2 to me because that's what he is.
Don't do that, Skip.
Moving on. Will Tom Brady dominate the Vikings on Sunday? We'll discuss that next. No mercy. Time for our final topic of the day. There are two big NFL matchups on Sunday. Tom Brady and the Patriots host the Vikings Sunday afternoon on Fox. New England is a perfect 5-0 at Foxborough this season. And then on Sunday night, the Steelers host the 8-3 Chargers. So, Shannon, who do you got in these two games?
I like that take, Colin. You know what? I'm going to take the Patriots in a close one at home, Skip. It's supposed to be thunderstorms, and I think that will neutralize some of the pass rush that the Vikings can generate. I think the Patriots run a very close game at home.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you're back on that bandwagon.
Tom Brady's 32-4 in December.
Oh.
Think about that. In 19
Think
years,
about that.
Man has lost 4 home games in December.
Wow. Maybe he gets back in the MVP race.
No, he can get back in that.
Stop
it.
Yeah.
And the Chargers go to Pittsburgh. You know what? I'm going to take the Chargers. I kind of want the Chargers to win for the simple fact I want Glenn to blame somebody else. Because he's blamed AB, he's blamed everybody else, but he won't lay the blame at his feet for consistently and constantly turning the ball over. But I like the Chargers. They got a nice offense, and they got Joey Bosa back, generate a little pass rush. I like the Chargers on the road.
You're trying to stick with your preseason Super Bowl pick in the
Don't worry
Chargers?
about what I'm sticking with.
Well,
I
is
got
that
the
why
Chargers.
you're doing it?
No.
Well, I'll go in reverse here because I got the Steelers. It is Sunday night. They thrive on strife in Pittsburgh, and they got lots of strife going on, and that's when they're the most
quarterback
dangerous.
keep it going.
Yeah, he does, but I think he's going to have a big game. I got that one 28-24, and you cannot beat Tom Brady in December in Foxborough, so I agree with you, and I think he will start to make a little quiet MVP statement.
Too late. It's too little too late.
28-20 over the
How
Vikings.
you going to make an MVP push when you got fewer touchdowns than first cousins?
Because you're going to get to 9-3 and then 10-3, and all of a sudden you're going to look up and you're going to say, wait, they're the number 1 seed.
So what my homeboy going to do?
They're going to lose.
No mercy.
Thank you for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Keep an eye out for the weekend edition of the podcast tomorrow morning, featuring this week's best segments. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.